Everyone, and welcome to a special episode. It's the finale of Shooting Stars Season 1. Super excited. Why? Because we have our good friend CobaltStreak on. Who's CobaltStreak? CobaltStreak is extremely well known in the Isaac community, but outside of that, he has amassed over 275,000 followers on Twitch, which is insane. And most importantly, he's built such a creative and passionate community. And it's a pleasure to bring him on. Cobalt, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
How's it going, man? You just turned 30 yesterday. How's 30 treating you?
Signing up for Life Alert, writing my will, getting all my ducks in a row.
Was that a struggle for you at all when you went from 29 to 30? Did your life change at all?
I feel the same. I still feel like I'm 15, and I don't ever go out in the sun, so I've got great skin, so I look like I'm a lot younger, so I guess it's fine. It really hits you like halfway in the year, because once you reach that like over 6 month mark, you're like, okay, my year of being 29 is more than halfway over. I'm more 30 than I am 29 at this point, and then every day after that, it's just like another percentage closer to actually being 30. So you kind of like make peace with it a couple of days beforehand, I guess.
But you're young at heart, man.
Yeah,
the 30s aren't so bad, man. They're not so bad.
That's what I hear.
Well, welcome to the show, man. I'm really excited to bring you on and really find out more about your story. You and I have talked a ton over the years, but one of the things I've noticed about you is, your story isn't exactly out there. It's the cool thing about the show, and why I want to bring you on is, people will get to find out a little bit more about you and how you grew up, and so thanks so much for coming on the show, man.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm happy to be here.
So
a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. So one of the things we like to do to kind of break the ice is talk about a few topics in gaming that are on the surface, that are new, that are tailored for you. So first thing I want to talk to you about is, I know you had a chance to play it a little bit earlier today, but what are your thoughts about Enter the Gungeon? Where's your hype level for that, and where's your excitement for that?
Well, it's inspired from Isaac, which I love, and I've played thousands of hours in. It's I'm really excited about it. The devs are just great people. They've been working really hard on it. It should have a lot of content. They said not quite as much as like Afterbirth and Rebirth, but it should have a lot of replay value. The mechanics are great. It's really innovative, I feel like. It's a lot of fun to play. The co-op is awesome. It's not online co-op, but the local co-op is a lot of fun, so I'm hoping to get some Richard or some friends over to play some of that with me. And I don't know, I'm hoping it just feeds my addiction to roguelikes for the next couple of months.
You see it. So if you had to project, or you like trying to, I know it's tough because it just came out. And how much mileage do you think is in the game? Like, I know you said a couple months. Is that how you feel about it?
I think that it's probably going to be something that I'll be able to play regularly without getting burnt out for at least a month or two. It depends on how fast they're going to push new content, if they're going to do patch updates. I really haven't had a chance to see much of it. I've only played about 4 hours, and I haven't even cleared a full run in that amount of time. It's pretty difficult just getting used to all the different controls and the buttons, because there's a lot of different buttons and mechanics. Whereas Isaac, it's like it kind of builds your mechanics up with each item you pick up, whereas in Gungeon you jump in with like 5 or 6 different buttons you can use right away. So knowing when like to press them and stuff, and when it's best to use them, is more of a challenge. But I don't know. I'd give it about a couple of months for sure before people are probably burnt out on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking, you mentioned you put 4 hours into it. A game you've put way more than 4 hours into, is of course Isaac, and the next big thing coming out for Isaac, of course, is Afterbirth Plus. And it's a little bit different in terms of a modding tool and things like that. Where do you see yourself taking that? And are you excited about using it? Or are you more excited about the mods that people create, or the different things people create from it that you get to play?
Well, there are mods already available for it, and I haven't been too gung-ho about jumping into that, because there's still stuff left for me to do that I enjoy playing on the game. For like, while we were doing streaks, now I'm doing a fresh unlock, because I've actually technically never done one from 0 to 100 myself, since I've always had Richard to kind of lean on, and then if I get lazy or if my file gets corrupted, I'll just go download a file. So I thought it'd be nice to make like a series of, let's just go get these unlocks, let's try to do it efficiently, get some of the best items unlocked so you can just bang out the rest of them really quick. Um, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see with the modability because there already are those mods out there, and just how much more are they going to be able to do with what they're provided.
Hmm.
I think it's really going to depend on how the community responds to it. If it's something that's super popular and a lot of streams start doing it, and you can just tell that there is that renewed interest in it, then I'll probably jump on and give it a try because it'll probably be fun. You can usually tell if something's fun by just how hype it is,
Hmm.
generally. Um, I hope it breathes some new life into the game. I know there's going to be adding some other like little things as well to the game for people that aren't modders. I think they're probably going to add a couple of new items or something. They said something, just not as much as the last two content pushes. So there'll be a little something extra. As far as Isaac is concerned for longevity, I think there's always going to be people playing it. There's always going to be that community. There's always going to be like the Reddit people and the people pushing the mods. Will it be viable to play on Twitch forever? I'm not sure. It's a lot of fun. It's a great game. I think all games eventually are destined to slow down, at least for viewership, even if they have a strong community playing the game still. So we'll just have to see. I'm excited for it. I'm really excited. You just kind of have to go in with like a grain of salt, a little skepticism, I guess.
Yeah, and Isaac's been around for a while, and last week we had Richard Hammer on, and I want to read you back one of the things he said to get your opinion on it. He essentially said that Isaac has jumped the shark, in his opinion. Um, I'm not. Are you familiar with what that metaphor is? It's
I've never heard that one actually
okay. It
before.
means like it's derived from like in Happy Days. Like Happy Days used to be this popular show back
Yeah,
in the day.
Fonzie.
Yeah, Fonzie. And then there's this moment when Fonzie like water skis over the shark, and ever
Mm-hmm.
since that moment, like the show tanked. So like people
Does
say
it?
it's like jumping the shark when like
Gotcha.
people are over it. And so that's what Richard said last week. What are your thoughts on that? And do you agree with that at all in terms of Isaac being, it's had its lifeline and now it's on its way down?
Um, to an extent, I mean, there's always going to be that core solid community. As long as there are people that are innovating and doing new things with the game, I think there's always going to be that interest. Just because we've built such a great community on Twitch, it started out like hardly nobody watching it, and then over the years, it's just exploded. So I think it's going to be around for a while. I think maybe it's peaked in that sense,
Hmm.
so it might be a decline from that point. I don't know if this new update, like if it's gonna just reach the proportions that Afterbirth and Rebirth, you know, they set some pretty high bars as far as like hype and viewership, I guess, and community growth. So you're always going to reach a peak and then have some decline as well. Um, I don't know. It really just depends on how crazy people go with the mods, what they do with it, if it's fun to play. It's people. It's really people's chance though if they have any gripes with the game or if they think something was done incorrectly or if they wanted something else done to kind of like take it under their own wing and develop the game, the Isaac game that they want and that they envision, rather than what the developers try to give to us and make everybody happy. So
When Afterbirth came out and the changes were made and things were inserted into the game, the hush and things like that, do you have any things that you wish would have been differently, or when Afterbirth came out, were you just like, all right, this is cool, like they did a good job with this, I wouldn't change anything about it?
I think the game is a little more RNG in the sense like you can die early because there's smaller rooms. You can get champions a lot earlier. There's some enemies that are really annoying, but I think also later in the game, if you make it like to the depths and further, the game gets a lot easier.
Hmm.
So like the further you get, the easier it gets. But there's more RNG to die early from BS. Um, I don't know. I guess the changes with the hush, I don't really like that it is after the womb. I think if that's the in-game boss, progression-wise on the floors, maybe having it at the end with another floor would have been my personal way to go. I know how they want. I know with those guys, they're always looking to make something new and innovative and do things a little bit differently than is what expected of them. Like they kind of twist it a little bit, but to me, beating the end game boss and then having two more floors to finish is just kind of weird to me
Hmm.
because you can also access that boss so early in the game too. Like you just have to do 10 womb runs, and then if you make the timer, you can do it. And they patched that in after the game launched. You used to could just do one foot run, unlock the womb, make the timer, and then go right into the hush
Hmm.
and beat the whole game before you even saw Mega Stand. I really feel like Mega Stand. I feel like the hush should have been come out in Rebirth, and I feel like Mega Stand should have been the boss that came out in Afterbirth.
Got it.
If that makes sense.
Why do you think they did it that way? Do you have any like idea or insight, or have you ever? I know you talked to Tyrone a lot and things like that. Have you ever like dug it in at all on that, or?
I think the reason that they did that was because of just how more ridiculously OP you can get late game.
Hmm.
So they kind of look at like the chest as maybe like a fun floor where you know you're going to be awesome and you're kind of going to blow through a lot of that. Um, and maybe fighting a boss that late game with a super OP build after you've broken the game wouldn't be as fun.
Hmm.
But in that same regards, then they put like, a tank shield on the boss, right? So that your OP builds aren't as effective. So that kind of also is a little contradictive to that, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why they did it that way. I think they just wanted to do something new. I was really hoping for like a new floor with new enemies, or maybe an alternate third path, even if it's not stacked on top of the dark room or the chest. Maybe there's like a secret third way. Um, I understand as well with like the secrets in the game. They wanted to guard them from data miners and progress patching them, and then like the live event that they did to unlock everything. That's great and all.
Were
I
you
like.
into that at all? Were you into the ARG thing?
I mean, I felt a little excluded from that. It was kind of like area based. I
Hmm.
mean, if I had any iota of a hint that they were going to do something like that, I would have flown out there and
Really?
like joined the hunt myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like a super fanboy when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, so I felt like it was very specific, but and it was. I mean, those guys are geniuses for figuring that stuff out. Like, there's no way I could have done that ever.
But
I mean, I was diving into the game trying to figure out from the game perspective if there was a way to get some kind of secret or whatever.
but
Um,
you're saying you like the idea. You just would have liked to have
yeah,
taken a part in it. With.
yeah,
Got it. Okay.
exactly. It's like if you have to travel to do something like that or be local in a local area. I mean, you have such a broad, giant community. You're really, I mean, it's like a handful of people. Like you have your Reddit, and then you have like the people that live in that area that use Reddit, and that's like a handful of people.
Yeah.
So it was a little disappointing because I wanted everybody wants to take part in figuring something like that out and unlocking it, and I know they wanted to make it a community thing, but it was more of like a kind of a specialized community thing instead of like a general community thing.
Yeah. No, I got you.
It was really cool though. It was a great idea. Like I respect them for it tremendously, but I'm just jealous. I'm jelly.
Well, cool. Well, so from that, and then I know there isn't a ton of information out on it, but I wanted to get your speculation on what you think the Legend of Bumbo is. I mean, it's kind of came out of nowhere, but
Yeah.
I know there's not a ton of information on it. What are you hoping for from that, if anything?
I honestly haven't even looked at it. I'm just pulling it up right now.
Hmm.
Somebody was, I know Nick was saying that perhaps it was a puzzle game,
Hmm.
some type of puzzle. Let's see, Legend of Bumbo was a turn-based puzzle RPG type thingy that's randomly generated. So I don't know if it's going to be like Bedazzled or Bejeweled or whatever,
Like a match 3 type thing or something
or
like
what
that.
it's going to be. I really
Yeah.
love puzzle games like that, so I'm sure I'll like it. I'm sure I'll be able to throw a couple of of streams onto it for fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, I just don't know what to expect. I've never played a team meet or Edmund game that I just was like, oh, this is a waste of money. I shouldn't have bought this. They've all been very unique, awesome art styles, and I really enjoyed the kind of weird, quirky, um, just way they develop games. It's super unique.
Yeah, no,
So I'm
definitely.
excited.
All right, so speaking of weird and unique games, what are you playing right now on camera, and what are you playing anything off camera as well?
Okay. So I've been recently playing. I started Salt and Sanctuary,
Hmm.
and that game.
Can you explain what it is for people that don't know?
So it's a PlayStation 4 exclusive game for 3 months. It's part of their digital launch or something that they're doing. It's basically a 2D Dark Souls.
Hmm.
So it's a platformer Dark Souls, and you would think that a platformer might not be that challenging or something, but it's really well done, and it literally is 2D Dark Souls. The style, the way like you get salt for souls, you have a stamina bar, equipment perks that you have to match to be able to gear yourself a certain way. Like it's almost a clone, but it's a lot of fun. It's really challenging and it made me rage and get really salty. But when you finally beat that boss that you've been working on for like an hour, like that sense of accomplishment that you feel and relief is it's worth it, you know? All that pain you go through. So I've been playing a bit of that. I've been playing some Stardew Valley. I put 80 plus hours on that. That's just a really chill game. It's made by one person, Concerned Ape. Um, we had a I made my character look like Bob Ross, built a farm, married the trailer girl and had a baby, and the progression is gated in such a way that it's very satisfying when you meet each mark and you just want to keep going for more and just watch your little farm build up into like, a Beertopia or however you want to build it. So it was really relaxing. It was a nice break from doing like lost streaks with Isaac, and then I've been working on Isaac, of course, doing the unlock series where I go through the challenges and all the different unlocks for the characters and kind of systematically try to eliminate them in the most effective way possible. Like I'm not speed running it or really trying to make it as effective as possible, but kind of like casual, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like a kind of casual, most efficient way I can
Yeah.
unlock stuff.
S-
Like for example, I'll unlock the Jera rune, the Yera, and the Perthro,
mhm.
but I won't unlock any of the other runes because that way, when you're playing through the game, those are the only two runes you find.
Mm.
And if you get a blank card, you break the game, and you don't have to worry about finding any other runes. So they're just really powerful. Like little stuff like that will make your unlocks a lot easier.
S-
Um,
Let me ask this: when you go, because you just mentioned three extremely different games.
mhm.
When you sit down to stream, with your schedule, which is pretty intense, how far out do you go? How do you put your schedule together in terms of what games you want to play, and versus what games the community wants to see? How do you determine that?
So I usually have a big following list of peers and other streamers that I enjoy watching, and I try to keep my finger on the pulse of what is hot and hype. Generally, if I see a channel that plays the types of games or enjoys the kind of games that I like, and they're playing something new, I will generally go and maybe download that, play it for like, 5, 10 minutes, be like, okay, can I get into this? And then I will try to play it on stream. And just see how my community reacts. You can usually tell right away whether your your friends and all the people that come to watch you are enjoying something like that.
How do you tell
And
that? What do you use to gauge that when you're like, all right, this isn't going well, or this is going great?
I use the statistics, honestly.
Uh-huh.
Like basically atmosphere and chat plus statistics. So if I get less than half of what I would get normally playing Isaac, then normally I will feel that that's not something my community is responding to very well. Um, and there's some games that I really, really have enjoyed playing on stream that just did not perform well that I had to finish off stream just because they weren't a great idea to play,
What
you
would
know?
what would be an example of a game you really really liked, but it didn't work out well in stream?
Overwatch, XCOM. Well, Overwatch wasn't bad. Some RPGs. RPGs are a big one for sure because there's such a time investment, and
Mhm.
then if you don't finish it right away, people don't want to come into a story like midway. They want to be there from start to finish. And with an RPG like that, that's very grindy. Um, you just kind of have to either muscle through it. You can't play it just a couple hours a day. You got to like binge play it and get through it. Because if you stretch it out too long, then you just you damage your community.
Mhm.
It just doesn't. It's just not something that appeals to people. So it's not so much about as growth for me. Like I don't play a game because I want growth. I play a game because I want the majority of my community to enjoy it. So I if it's getting less than half my viewers for Isaac, generally I feel like the community may not be enjoying it as much as I am, but if it gets anything above that, then I'll usually stick it out and I'll play it because that's going to be more than half your people, right? That you're happy with, and that's great. You want to make as many people as possible happy, but in a place like this where people normally will be, that's like the first thing they look at is what game is he playing? Do I want to watch him play that? Um,
Do you feel pressure
Thank you.
to stream Isaac, or what are your thoughts on it? Because it's you know
Mm,
that's how you started out, and I think a lot of a
yeah.
lot of people love you for that. But I've noticed personally being a fan, and you're the first person on Twitch that I ever subscribed to, and I've watched you since the early days. But like I've noticed that you've been able to pivot like some people haven't, where you
Hmm.
still play Isaac, but that's not the only thing you always play now. But like, do you feel
Yeah.
pressure to play that game from your community?
I don't say I would feel pressured as much as I feel committed
Mm-hmm.
because I'm really grateful for everything the game has done in the community and that everybody comes to my channel and that a lot of people, even if they don't like watching me play other games, they will. They'll sit around because they just want to hang out with me and hear me as background music and talk, even if they're not into that game. Um, I feel like if I just completely abandoned Isaac and was like, "Hey guys, I'm never gonna play Isaac again. We're retiring Isaac," that would put kind of a negative stigma on my channel because I don't know. Like I said, I'm super grateful for everything it's done for my channel. Without that community and that game, I probably would not have been a successful stream on Twitch because that is what put me in front of people so that they could decide whether they like my personality or not, whether they wanted to watch me play other games, and then that's their decision. Whereas if I wasn't known for anything, they might have never even checked out the channel in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel very committed to at least play it a couple of times a week, a few hours. That being said, I'm much less apt to just play it 7 days a week now. I don't feel as pressured as I did before, where I can't take just a full day of Stardew Valley and think like, hey, I'm gonna lose 100 follows, or I'm gonna drop 20 subs, or I'm not gonna get any monies from tips today. Like it's gonna be okay, because my community has been responding really well to other stuff, and I'm super grateful for that. But I also don't want to leave anybody that does just like watching me for Isaac behind. And I don't want to make it appear like I'm ungrateful by just being like, all right, guys, we're done. I'm retiring it. We're never playing it again. I'm never going to do that. I'm always going to come back to it, even if there's a point where I don't play it for 2 months. I might, well, okay, guys, I know we haven't played Isaac in a while. We're going to do a throwback, like, so I don't know. More commitment, I would say, than pressure at this point, thankfully.
Do you remember the first time you streamed a game on Twitch that wasn't Isaac?
I mean, I tried to stream World of Warcraft and League of Legends once or twice before I really just started playing Isaac on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I had like zero viewers, obviously. And the quality was really bad because my computer I first started out with streaming was really poor. Like, it was a 5-year-old computer that wasn't even up to par at that point. So,
And then I'm saying like, so after you started playing Isaac for a while, your community started
yeah.
to build. Like after that point, do you remember saying like, all right, I need a break, I need to play something else? Do you remember what that first game was for
Hmm.
you?
Some of my people that watch me probably remember better. The first thing that comes to mind though is League of Legends. I tried to do the whole league thing because I'm not bad at MOBAs,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a good duo queue partner. I was ranked fairly high, like I was platinum, which isn't bad. I just didn't have the time to dedicate myself and to play to it, so I started playing it on stream a little bit, and that's when I realized that the communities that you expose yourself to, you have to be very careful. Um, and it's a lot harder to break into a genre than you think if you're not going to make something like that your mainstream game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, variety is variety, but there are other games. There are some games that, even as a variety streamer, it's hard to break into. Like, for example, Minecraft is kind of niche. So is maybe CSGO or a lot of these MOBAs. Like, anything that could be like a competitive esport, they already have like a community that's carved out, and they have their like front runners in that community. So generally people are going to be going to watch them, and then they're seeing super high quality play. So if somebody like me comes along that's a variety streamer and I'm not like elite super mega rank 1 megazord, like people come in, they're like, they don't understand why I have so many people watching me for entertainment. They when in that particular niche genre, people generally watch for skill.
Got it.
um, so it's a lot harder, and people are much more judgmental. I would say that new people coming into the channel, and then that can start some animosity in chat, and I don't know. I like to have the right feel, so you just have to be very picky about what communities you try to break it into what games. And with League of Legends, I felt like that was a learning experience
Hmm.
because we had like a lot of toxic people coming in the channel. Even if you're doing well, they're like, "You missed a CS. This scrub tier lord is feeding." I'm like, "I'm 8-1, bro. Like, what's going on here?" Um, I would say it was League of Legends though. I don't really know what other game I tried to play. It was probably League, yeah, that I made the first like shot at, and then other games I just try to do like a one shot playthrough if it's like story based or something like that,
Hmm.
or progression based or whatever. I don't know.
Well, cool. Well, we're gonna jump into the interview portion of your show. Before we do that, I'm gonna take a quick break here because the chat's saying there's some connection issues. So we're gonna go down for
Okay.
half a second, and then we'll be right back. So
Okay.
we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, and we're back here. We're just gonna give it a second here to connect in. Thank you guys for being patient on the finale. We've been fortunate; we haven't had much internet issues throughout, but here we go. We're gonna jump back in. Um, let's give it a 1 second here. I think we're good. Is this better? All right. Hang on 1 sec. All right, cool. So, all right. So where we last left off, Cobalt. We were talking about. So we talked about kind of a little bit in how you entered into, at least how you make some decisions on Twitch. But what we want to get into here is in terms of how you grew up, where you grew up, and what your upbringing was like. So first off, tell us where you grew up, um, and what your
Okay.
childhood was like.
I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. I was born in Richmond, Virginia, but my family moved when I was like 3 months old anyway to Memphis, Tennessee to pursue a job. My dad works with FedEx.
Hmm.
So, childhood, really happy childhood. I was actually probably pretty spoiled. I have a sister. I grew up in a decent house with my granddad and my parents, and I went to a public school. They wanted to put me into a public school because um, they wanted to keep me more grounded, I guess,
Hmm.
and not feel like super privileged or anything like that. I guess just keep me more grounded. And they really believe in the public school system as well. And my mom worked. She was like the head of the PTO.
Hmm.
She worked as the after that as the financial secretary for the elementary school, which was right down the hill from the high school. So I would just have to walk down the hill every day to like catch a ride home, which was pretty nice. Um, I don't know, pretty good normal upbringing.
What
I guess.
what kind of student were you? It was kind of cute to see you tweeted out some pictures, and your mom tweeted you some pictures of you as a
Yeah.
little Cobalt. You're a cute little guy. But what were you like in school? Were you like quiet? Did you do well in school? Did you keep to yourself? Were you getting in fights? What were you like?
So I was a straight A student up through sixth grade, and
Wow.
I was put in the gifted student program all the way through ninth grade. I guess because I had like tests and stuff done where they said that I fit that program or whatever. Once I got into high school, like homework really bores me. I didn't really see the point of it. Like, I understand that reinforcement is needed for a general student to retain information,
Uh huh.
but to me, it just is like a waste of time. So if I did homework, it would be during my 15-minute like lunch period or whatever,
Hmm.
or however long it was. I would just bang out however much. Basically, I would, as far as like my studying and stuff went, I slept during most of my classes. School was really boring. I was about a B to a C average student because I would purposely figure out how much homework I could skip to maintain that B grade, um, so that I would have more time to play video games and stuff.
Wait, let me ask this though. How do you go from being in like the gifted program? Like, and when that happened,
Yeah.
did you know what was going on? Did you like, oh, these classes are getting harder, or you know, like there's like the normal
Yeah.
kids? Like, did you know what was
I
going
mean, I
on?
was in all the honors classes and everything. I still made B's and C's in the honors classes, so they were the more advanced classes, but it was just really boring. Like I don't like I like a hands-on teaching style, and when
Mhm.
somebody just throws like chapter reviews at me and packets of homework, I'm just like I can listen to you in class for an hour and, retain all of this. Like why do I need to do all this extra work? I don't know. I always try to be efficient, and homework is to me is not efficient. So I would do as little as I could to make a decent grade. Like I didn't want to fail anything. Like I didn't fail anything. I did great on my SAT. I had a full scholarship to college.
You did academic?
Yeah, academic scholarship to college because I made like a 27 overall on my ACT.
That's
I had a
huge.
32 in reading, which was in the top. I was in the top 1% of people in the country at that time for reading.
Yeah, a perfect
Um,
score on the ACT is 36, and you're getting
mhm.
32, which for people who don't know, that's like, I mean, and I want to say God tier, but I can't think of anything else. Like your reading
Yeah,
comprehension is insane. Like, where do you think that
I'm
comes
really
from?
good at reading for sure.
Where did that come
My,
from?
I used to read a lot growing up in elementary school. I used to read like novels that were way ahead of I would read fantasy novels. Because I really like, like swordplay and dragons and magic and all that stuff. And I played a lot of Magic growing up too.
Hmm.
So I would like sit around in sixth grade and just read like fantasy novels. And then when they put us in that gifted program, we would do a lot of creative writing, and we would do like a lot of logic puzzles and just different things to stimulate our brains like that. So I guess it came from that. Doing like, we just take practice tests and stuff. And um, I'm just decent at reading stuff and then answering questions about it. I don't know. It's not it just comes naturally, I guess, whereas something like math and science don't to me. Like I'm not really great with chemistry or biology and stuff like that, but I'm not bad at English.
Well,
Uh,
it's interesting because last week I asked Richard Hammer who the better Isaac player was, and he said you. But I said, why do you think that? And he said, in terms of mechanically, but he said intellectually, you're able to understand how everything interacts very, very quickly. Like, do you attribute like your ability in Isaac? Do you think that comes from like how good you are at logic type stuff as a kid?
Maybe as far as like memorizing what items and stuff,
Hmm.
um, I think a lot of that other stuff is just like I don't know. I hate talking about myself positively. I don't
No,
like to brag or toot my own horn and stuff like
no,
that.
no, but like, is it hard for you to remember? Like, 'cause you're make when you won racing leagues, and you're extremely well known for being great at the game. So it's not you're not tooting your own horn. But for you, is it easy to remember that stuff?
I have a really great memory when it comes to things that I'm interested in or that are important to me.
Yeah.
And that just happens to be video games. For whatever reason, I just love video games. Like, I could memorize 20 vocabulary words before a vocabulary test, take a test on it, nail all 20 100%, and then not tell you the definition of them the next day.
Hmm.
But for Isaac, I pick an item up, I learn what it does, and it just sticks. And that it's like that for a lot of games, like World of Warcraft, League of Legends, memorizing items in League of Legends or hero abilities. It's like I have an um, endless, I don't know,
Like Vault.
knowledge
Yeah.
resource for storing useless video game knowledge. Well, I guess it's not so useless now, but
No.
growing up, I thought it was.
So let me ask this: what kind of pushback did you get from your family from going from, in the gifted program to now you go to high school and you're like, let me just do what I need to do to get by? Like, did you catch any heat, like from your parents, or like, hey, you can be doing better? And then how did you get out of that?
Yeah, they always knew. They always told me how smart I was and how I could be this and I could be that. I could be a straight A student. And I know I could have if I had put the effort forth. But honestly, the only reason that I put any effort forth at all and I wasn't a D student and just a complete degenerate was because I wanted to make my family proud of me
Hmm.
and not disappointed. Like, not disappointing my family was the only driving force I had for ever doing any homework at all. So, um, and I don't know, I really kept to myself in high school. I only had probably like five friends that I actually did stuff with outside of school, and
Hmm.
I maybe had 10 in school. Like I had a little group that I sat at the table with, but it basically went like this: first or homeroom, sleep, orchestra, sometimes play. Sometimes I could get away with sleeping if she wasn't paying attention. I would just lean in real close to my music stand, and I keep my bow up in the air, but I like do like little micro naps. Um, and then honestly, the only class that I couldn't sleep in at least a little bit was my math class. She would yell at me.
Did you play instrument all 4 years in high school?
I played the violin from sixth grade all the way through my senior year
What?
of high school.
Could you pick it up right now and just like shred?
Probably not.
I
I
mean,
haven't touched it in 12 years or 11 years. So,
my mind is blown away. You're on the top tier of ACT scores, a concert violin uh, player. That's amazing. Like, have you ever even thought
uh,
about like busting out the violin on stream? Like,
I just,
does your
I,
stream know you play violin?
I've talked about it some. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's awesome, man. So you said you mentioned that you just do everything you had to do to get by. Before I go
hmm
to that, I want to ask you. You said you had this core group of friends, or a small group of friends. So were you just reserved in high school? Were you shy? Did you like just do your own thing? Did you know?
Females scared the hell out of me. I would get nervous even talking to a girl. I couldn't make direct eye contact with anybody.
What, boys
I
or
was very
girls?
self-conscious, very self-conscious. Like I definitely had some social anxiety. I'm not sure if like how bad it was. I know I have ADHD, but I really preferred to keep to myself
Hmm.
because I feel like the more you put yourself out there, the more chances you have of being bullied or I don't know. I didn't like to draw much attention to myself. I just like to be the quiet guy that nobody really knew much about. And I actually like up until I was 24, I talked about this on stream the other day. Up until I was 24, I couldn't even buy stuff from like fast food places, Walmart, clothing stores. I had this like anxiety about meeting new people that I've never met before that they would judge me.
Hmm.
So I would be like, "Hey, friend or so and so, I'll give you $5 if you'll go up and order me a combo, or whatever, and bring it to me."
Like,
And
what
I
would
don't
you
know
feel
why.
like? What would you feel like when you like if you wanted something and you knew you had to do it? What would it feel like? Do you feel like nervous, or what was that like?
Really nervous. I didn't want to do it. I normally just wouldn't do it. I would just not do it. There would be like times where I would like be on like a field trip or something,
Hmm.
and you'd have to go order or something at like a fast food place or whatever, and I would just not eat or something like that
Really?
because I couldn't find somebody to like do it for me or whatever.
Did you talk?
But
Did you talk to your family about it, like as a kid or anything like that?
no, I didn't really bring it up. I just kept it to myself. I was very happy just playing video games and with the friends I did have. We hung out all the time.
Hmm.
Like we'd do pizza parties and slumber parties. Like the friends I did have, I was very close to, but I just was not very outgoing, not very friendly. Didn't know what to talk to a girl about at all. Um, and luckily, I grew out of that. But it took me until I was like 23 or 24 to do it. Now I'll just go up to anybody and talk to them. I don't care. Like
What I
I
want
grew
to
out of it.
let me ask you about this. So your friends that you did have, if you were generally more of an introvert or really shy, or even maybe socially anxious, how did you make those friends in school? If you were kind of like that way, very kept keeping to yourself.
Well, a couple of my friends were from elementary school, and I
Hmm.
just had grown up with them like my whole life since like second grade and stuff, and I just had maintained those relationships. Others were generally they would hear me like okay, so for example, one of my friends, Tyler, we had in seventh grade the same homeroom with each other, and he had sat across from me or whatever, and I looked over there one day and I saw him drawing a picture of a zealot
Hmm.
from StarCraft, and I was like, "What the fuck? You play StarCraft?" And it was just like instant friendship.
Yeah.
And then I had some. some other friends um, that they were talking about Diablo 3 one day and how they were hustling people selling items online. And I was like, oh my God, I played Diablo 3. So it was mostly through video games that I became friends with people, honestly. Like, my whole life, if people haven't been interested in video games, I haven't been interested in getting to know them. It's kind of bad. So, unless it's like family or something like that,
Yeah.
even girls, like, it's like, oh, you don't like video games? We're not going to get along very well, probably.
Well, it sounds like, I'm not trying to break you down, but it sounds like it just provided a like super comfortable common ground for you to talk about,
Hmm.
that would do that. So you mentioned earlier that, you would get through stuff in high school so you could run home and play games as a kid. Like, do you
Yeah.
remember like running home and being like, what were you most excited about? What did you play growing up as a kid?
Diablo, Diablo 2, Warcraft, StarCraft. Um, Played a lot of Age of Empires as well. I
Hmm.
really liked Age of Empires. I did a lot of Counter-Strike 1.5, 1.6. We had teams for that we were like Cal I
Hmm.
on our team.
What does
I
that mean?
did
What is Cali?
It's basically like a league. It's like the third rank up. It's like one step under like the pro
Okay.
level. Um, then when World of Warcraft came out, I lost 8 years of my life somewhere. I don't know where that went.
All right.
I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't leave my room hardly. I scheduled my job schedule around raiding, and it was really bad.
So, all right. So before we jump ahead to World of Warcraft, when you were, when you were engrossed in these video games, was your family supportive, or they were like, "Hey, go read a fantasy book or do something else," or were they like, notice how like happy that made you? What was like? What was that like for you?
As long as I kept my grades at a suitable level, which they really didn't like C's, and I didn't like getting C's either. But generally, I was an ABC student. I didn't really get D's ever, maybe once or twice in my whole high school career. And my family was always pretty supportive about it. I had a lot of friends. Like as long as I was getting stuff done and I was taking the trash out or doing things around the house, they were fine with it.
Hmm.
They were never just like, "This is going to ruin your life. You shouldn't play this." Like they were letting me. My family's really supportive no matter what I do.
Hmm.
Um, I could want to be a homeless person and they'd be like, "Well, we don't really like that you want to be a homeless person and we think you probably shouldn't, but if that's really what your heart is set on, we're going to make sure you're the best damn homeless person in the world." You know?
Yeah, that's
Like
cool.
so
So
it's nice.
cool. All right, so you had supportive like family that like
Yeah.
like were cool with your hobby and what you did. So then when it comes to so you graduate from high school and then you have this academic scholarship on the table. Like what do you decide to do? Like
Well, I went to college, and for the majority of my 20s and that part of my life, I really had no clue what I wanted to do.
mhm.
I figured all my friends know what they're doing. They're going to college, they're joining the military. You know, they're getting married over these years. They're having kids. They're growing families. And I never really knew what my niche was, so I kind of just fell into that thing of like, all right, let's try to go to school and get a business degree, and maybe I can manage, a place, and then I'll save up enough money, and I'll be able to open my own business and be my own boss. My goal was always that I wanted to like be my own boss,
Mhm.
or to manage something, and it it was really it was really hard because when I went to college, classes like that stuff just doesn't interest me. Like it never has interested me, so I would skip classes. I wouldn't go to school. I did really bad my first couple of semesters and lost my scholarship actually because I just wasn't going to class like at all. I wasn't. I just didn't care. I was like free of having to do all that stuff, and I hated it. In high school. So I did the university a little bit. I really didn't like that. It was a little far out of the way to travel for me to actually get up and go.
So you commuted.
From
It was
my
like
house.
you commuted to your college?
Yeah, well, I
Okay.
mean, I had to drive there for like 30 minutes or whatever,
Okay.
to get there, and waking me up, an 18-year-old version of me, and telling him to go to school, like drive 30 minutes, I would drive off and sleep in a parking lot for a few hours,
Yeah.
make it look like I went to school. And so that didn't work, and I ended up not going to the university. I tried like 3 semesters. The third semester, I did okay. I was getting A's and B's, but it really wasn't something that I was enjoying. So I decided, hey, maybe I'll try a community college. It's closer to my house. I can still work on my degree. A lot of my classes that I have done and that I have done well if they're transferable. So I did that. I was doing fine in community college. I was making decent grades. And then I was just like, I just really don't like this. I
Like,
don't
were you
like,
miserable? Like you just hate it?
yeah, it was terrible, man. Like I realized that at some point in your life you have to suck it up and be responsible and try to like move forward.
Hmm.
But it just wasn't my calling and it wasn't my passion. I was miserable. I feel like the purpose of life is to be happy, um, to get as much happiness out of it as you can while you have it. And that wasn't making me happy. So I ended up then going to an IT school where I learned about building computers, putting things together, running maintenance on it. I liked that a ton more.
Hmm.
It was actually in the general area of something that I enjoyed rather than like just business degree or whatever, having to take math classes and all this crap that I had no interest in. So I actually got my certifications in A plus applications and basics, and I was going to go back for networking,
Hmm.
and I was doing fine. Like the test you had to pay like $300 a test to get certified, and you take the test and whatever, and
What,
I got all that locked down,
what would
and
you
I
have
was
been certified to do? So like I don't know what A plus
okay.
is. Like you can then do what with that?
So I could work at like a warehouse, building computers, putting custom orders together for people.
Hmm.
Actually putting the parts together, running maintenance on them. I could work at a help desk, like a Comcast kind of situation where you call in. I have a manual in front of me. I can run you through the different steps to getting your computer working properly. Different things like that, like how all the programs worked on the computer, just how everything was put together.
Okay.
And I was going to go back for networking so that I could start setting up networks in places because that's pretty lucrative. And I love working with computers. Computers are like my favorite thing ever. And so I was in the process of actually looking for a job doing that because I just got my certifications and I was going to go back to school while looking for this job. And then I started streaming. And it was the first thing that I felt like I really love doing this. This is a lot of fun. And I will work hard at this. And the more people that would stop by my channel and come back every day, the more I just wanted to keep doing it. And I had a girlfriend at the time. She actually tried to talk to my parents and have them give me an intervention to make me stop streaming.
Hmm.
And my parents told her to screw off and said that this is super important to him. He's trying to make a career and a job out of it. We're going to support him with this, and you should be more supportive. Like she is the one that thought that I wouldn't make anything of it and I was wasting my time, not my parents.
Huh.
Um,
That's
so we had to drop that one. But
so so. Look, I mean, you're talking. She clearly didn't know your parents very well. If they would have been supportive of you, like
yeah,
taking the homeless route.
yeah, she tried to go behind my back and talk to them
so
about it.
so I imagine that was probably a tough time. But I know that in the past you were a waiter, right?
Yeah, I waited tables while I was going to the IT school.
Okay.
Yeah.
What restaurant were you at?
I was at O'Charlie's, which is like a family-owned restaurant. Chicken tenders, salads, steaks, burgers. Typical family kind of like grills, food like that.
For someone who has you said you had like you're introvert, you have some anxiety. How do you then become a waiter where that's all you do is you talk to strangers? What was that like for you?
So I worked at Laser Quest for a while before that, and I
That's
kind of built
awesome.
up, yeah, I kind of built up work skills, I guess,
Hmm.
communicating to people. In that position, kind of, because I was forced into. My parents insisted that I had a job as well. Like they weren't just letting me just full hippie, like do whatever I want. They had goals in mind for me, like you need to get a job. You're 15. You need to work, you know? Like, you need to make money for yourself. You need to feel what it's like to have a paycheck and to have your own money to spend. You need to be in school at all times. You can't just be sleeping all day and not be in school. You need to be doing stuff around the house if you don't have a job for a month or two or whatever, if you're in between jobs. Like, they kept me on my shit. But um, I think that kind of gave me social skills
Hmm.
to be able to go do that because I kind of got that job out of desperation. I was actually let go from my Laser Quest job because my general manager had a personal issue with me. She just didn't like me.
Well, you got fired
Just,
from Laser Quest?
yeah, because my general manager, she just didn't like me. She would make me do all this extra stuff that the other assistant managers didn't do, and then she would say like I didn't file a form or something, and that they would have to let me go because I missed filing a form. And I was like, no, I definitely did every form every day, but they had like already made the decision to do it or whatever. Like I don't know.
I'm
It was
just.
I was young and I'd never been cut or fired from a position ever in my life.
Hmm.
So I took it really rough and I was really scared about like taking it to my parents because I've never been that way before. So the next day after I got fired, my friend worked at O'Charlie's, and I was like, "Hey, can you get me a job here?" And he got me an interview, and like within 3 days, I was hired.
Okay.
It was kind of like just like I can get a job right now. Let's do this, so I don't get in trouble.
Did you end up telling your parents that you got fired, or you're just like, hey, I got a new job?
Yep, yep.
You did,
They
you never told them you got fired?
no, I told them.
Oh,
I
you
told them I
did.
got fired. They were they were not happy, but I already had the new job lined up, so it was not so bad, I guess.
Yeah. No,
It was a learning experience for sure.
I'm just trying to picture you like being a manager at a laser tag place. I feel like that's kind of like almost.
It's not easy.
Yeah, well, it's like kind of a cool environment to be in. Like you're kind of playing
It
games,
is.
but so
It,
that.
it's much less fun though. Like when you're a marshal and you're doing that job, and then you get bumped up to an assistant manager, and all of a sudden it's like serious, and you have to do paperwork, and you have employees under you, and you're having like money that you have to be accountable for. It's like a whole different world. It goes from fun to like this sucks.
I wonder if there's like some bizarro world where like you're not a streamer and you're like the manager there, and like I don't know. That's just I can't picture that. But anyways, all right. So then you get this job at this restaurant, and you mentioned earlier in the interview around age 24. Actually, you didn't say around. You said at 24, your like anxiety like kind of went away. What do
It's
you?
probably because of the restaurant, honestly. Um, Helped a lot with that because I was definitely way more in people's faces even than I was with Laser Quest because being sociable and doing those things like being comfortable around people and trying to be charismatic and talking to people and making eye contact, all of those things are going to help you be a better waiter
Mhm.
and get better tips. So to kind of like do decent at that occupation, you kind of had to develop those things.
Mhm.
And over time, after doing them so much and interacting with all the different employees that came through that place, because we turned employees like crazy, even managers. Like I worked there for 5 years, and I probably saw 100 different employees go through that place.
Wow.
Um, yeah. So you get to see a lot of different personalities. You get to interact with a lot of different people, and I think that probably helped me a lot work on those social anxieties I had. And I don't know, one day it just kind of clicked. I was like, I don't care what people think about me.
Mhm.
I'm gonna wear pajamas into the club. Like I'm gonna have crazy hair. I'm gonna grow this ridiculous beard, and people can judge me if they want, but they don't know who I am. And if they do want to know who I am, they can come take the time to be on my stream and get to know me.
Yeah.
Because I put myself out there like 100%, just open book.
So speaking of putting yourself out there, when did you first find Twitch? Do you remember when you first found it as a viewer, or how you found it?
Yeah. So used to play a lot of League of Legends with my friends. It was one of our favorite games to play together since it was, multiplayer and team based and all that. And we first found out about Twitch because we were watching pro League of Legends players. And we were trying to figure out what the best characters were and what builds and stuff like that and learn how to be better. And so I really didn't even have interest in watching that, but I knew my friends were watching it and they were talking about these people. And so one day, my friend Trevor, who also works at O'Charlie's with me, I got him a job or whatever. He was like, "Oh yeah, I saw this game that this League of Legends player was playing while they were waiting in queue, and it looked really cool. It was called The Binding of Isaac, and you should check it out. It's only like $5 or something on Steam. So at that point, Wrath of the Lamb was already out. I jumped into Isaac a little bit later than some people even, and I started playing it. And the reason I started streaming at all was because I would turn my stream on and I would do a run, and it was much easier than screen sharing on Skype because that the quality is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be like, if I had a really good run going or I made it really far because we sucked back then, dude. We'd be lucky to get off the second floor. I would be like, hey, open my stream up and look at this crazy item combo I have, or look at this crazy item I found. And he would pop in and be like, oh, dude, because we were trying to learn the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually how we found Lethal Frag. Was we were looking at the Twitch streams, and he was one of the first people we saw playing Isaac with a lot of people, and we learned a lot of stuff watching him play. And that was kind of my inspiration also to start streaming. I was like, well, this guy isn't a pro player. He's not a pro league player. You know, he's not esports. He's looks like he's quit his job to do this full time. He's making a living. He's going to be a variety caster. Like, I think I can do this, you know? Like, it's one of those things. It's not like, oh, well, I think I can do it better than this guy, but it's like, I think I could do this. This might be something I can figure out.
So when you first started your first stream, not, to share your friends, your run, did you do it under like MNulty12 or was it CobaltStreak?
It was CobaltStreak, and that's why I have this name. Because if I thought that it was going to turn into something serious, I probably would have picked a better name. I don't know.
Really? Why would you? Like, I think CobaltStreak's super cool and unique. Where does that come from?
I mean, I was just like 11 years old, and I was trying to make an AIM name, and it was like all the ones I was thinking of. It was like, well, we can add 07593 to the end of that if you want it. And I'm like, I don't want a name with freaking numbers at the end. So I just tried to think up two words that I thought were really like unique and odd and put them together so that I wouldn't have to worry about ever getting a name on a game.
Uh-huh.
And so I thought CobaltStreak. I don't know why the streak part, but the Cobalt, I guess, was because there were these enemies called kobolds on this game called Lufia 2 Rise of the Sinistrals on the Super Nintendo. But they spelled their names wrong. They spelled them Cobalt, even though they were kobolds.
Uh-huh.
And I really liked that game, and I liked that word for some reason. I just thought it sounded cool. And I was like, oh, well, it's also a color. It's a blue color. I'll just make a CobaltStreak, and it'll be like a blue streak, and nobody's going to have that stuff, you know? Like, I'll be able to get that name every time. No problem.
So in all the games you played from like 10 on, your name was like CobaltStreak and everything.
I also used Klondike.
Like the ice cream?
Yeah. Like, what would you do for a Klondike bar? My spray on Counter-Strike used to be the Klondike bar logo. I would spray it on people's bodies when I killed them.
With like the polar bear?
Yeah, the polar bear and everything. And so I went by Klondike, and then I would for World of Warcraft.
Wait, was it Klondike Streak or was it just Klondike?
Just Klondike. Klondike. That's why my Steam name is Klondike Owns.
Okay. And then you said your name in WoW was what?
It was Polaris. I was an undead mage, and I was like, "What's a cool mage-sounding name?" And I just like went on the internet and I saw the word Polaris, and I was just like, "All right, that sounds cool." And then people were like, "That's a jet ski or something. That's a pool cleaner." I'm like, "I don't care. I'm a mage." And then I changed my name to Spectral after that.
Well, I'd say every name you picked was generic except for CobaltStreak. That was like the most unique and memorable one. Like, what if you were Klondike right now? Like, would you be okay with that?
I was Klondike for a long time, so yeah.
All right, so your first stream is as CobaltStreak. You do it a few times, like to show your buddies your runs, and then you see Lethal Frag, and you're like, okay, if he's doing it, I think I can do it. So at this point, are you still in school and are you still at the restaurant?
Wait, what was that again? Sorry.
Yeah. So when you first when you decide to go from hey, just sharing the stream with your buddies to like, hey, I want to take a shot at this, or you really first started your stream up, not just for your friends, were you working and still going to school at the same time?
I had just gotten my certifications, and I was still working as a waiter, yeah.
Okay.
Probably about 15 to 20 hours a week at that point, because I'd been going to school about 12 to 16 hours a week.
Hmm.
So, and then I was raiding on World of Warcraft too,
Okay.
like 8 hours a week.
Okay.
So it was a pretty full schedule.
So you're a waiter, and then what was it like starting up your stream for the first time, not just for your friends? Like, did it happen where people just started tuning in because they saw your runs, or did you make a conscious effort to be like, okay, I'm CobaltStreak, I want to make sure I have this and this set up?
For the first 2 weeks, I was streaming probably 12 hours a day, every day. I was waking up, getting on stream, and then getting off to go to bed. And that was with my girlfriend living there. So that's probably why she was pissed off. Um,
So you quit your job? You quit your waiter job?
I did not quit my job, but I was only working probably 3 or 4 days a week
Hmm.
at that point. So for the majority of those days, I could do that, and then I would still do that after my job between schedules and stuff like that.
Okay.
Um, but for the first 2 weeks, I was doing that, and then I was like, I had maybe 10 to 20 people, and the reason I did that was because when I got people in there and they were talking to me, I felt so scared that if I turned my stream off, because this was all new to me at the time, if I turned my stream off, they would never ever come back to
Hmm.
my channel. I thought I'm going to be starting over from zero every time, you know. Um, and so that scared the hell out of me, and it made me just really want to maintain those people I did have in the channel. And so I was like, okay, we're going to tone this down. We're going to do 6 to 8 hours a day instead. And eventually it became six. But I did that every day. And after about, I would say, 3 months, because there was that need for an Isaac streamer
Hmm.
and to be online so often, and because people like Crumps and Lethal Frag were at that point already transitioning away from trying to play Isaac all the time, they were trying to play other games. I was able to kind of corner that market, for to be that streamer and to get known for it. And the more I played, the better I got. And the better I got, the more people that wanted to watch me. So,
Were you aware of what you're doing? Like, did you see this opportunity happen, or were you just kind of like, hey, I'm going to do this and we'll see what happens?
well, I saw the success of other people, and I knew they were making it their full time jobs, and that was the dream. Um, I got partnered around the 3 month mark, I think,
Hmm.
which is
Back then
actually,
wasn't heard of.
yeah, it's pretty absurd. We were probably rocking about 3 to 500 people
Hmm.
in the first couple of months, 3 months, and it was just because we were getting really good at Isaac. Um, people, I was streaming so often, and I was doing it every single day. Like the consistency is huge. Um, People always knew they could come to my channel to watch me at the same time every day, and like I said, there wasn't that many people. Like I think Wolf21 was the other prominent streamer at that time for Isaac,
Hmm.
and he was like the only person I would have to compete with ever. And he was getting 3 to 500 people. And so once I got partnered, I think it was like I think I got partnered at the 90-day mark, and I got my sub button. Um, it was pretty. It was like a couple of months after that. Like I did the boiler, and that was super huge for the channel. The only reason I ever started speedrunning was just try to spread the word about my channel and to grow it, because I wanted a sub button, and we just happened to be pretty good at the game. Um,
You had a
and
pretty
so,
epic moment in Boiler in that final race. Can you
mhm.
tell people just about that final race? Like, I've went back and watched it like years later, like
Yeah.
because it was first explain to people what Boiler was, and then tell people about what I'm talking about.
So Boiler was the first Binding of Isaac racing league that they did. They did, I believe, 2 seasons of it, and the first season was a lot smaller. It was like 15 racers or something like that, and the season final. We didn't realize at the time that if you didn't reset your Isaac game with the original Isaac, that you actually locked yourself out of getting deals, and you could only get God Room items, which is really weird. But so we would race all day and never close our game, and then wondered why we would never see Devil Deals. Um, but the final race against Wolf, he walked into his first God Room and found a Sacred Heart, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" And I still somehow managed to like beat him by it was like 3 seconds or something. It was like a picture finish
And that was to win the whole league, wasn't it? Or
Yeah, it was to win the whole thing. We
yeah.
ended up winning the first boiler. And there was a lot of side tournaments we did. I won, I think, three or four of those. Took home some money from that, which the money was just secondary to me as far. I just wanted the notoriety at that point,
Hmm.
because I was still growing my channel. I was trying to make a name for myself, and we started. I did the Dick Hammer tournament, and then I decided I wanted to do my own tournament. And I just paired with Richard for that, and we started the Balls of Steel. And at that point, I felt like, okay, I've won like three or four tournaments. They were pretty big events. I'm known for streaking. I don't hardly die ever. I can speed run this game. Like, I'm good. I have. I'm gonna be okay. I'm always gonna be able to have people probably show up to watch me play this. Let's try to grow the community as a whole.
Hmm.
Let's try to get people in other people's channels so there's more reach, 24 hours a day instead of just the 6 or 12 or whatever Richard and I are covering. So we wanted to facilitate a way for people to be able to race, and have fun and do the things that we were able to do, and also host it, and then not have to worry about the stress of waking up on race day and panicking because I have to go race wolves, in front of 3,000 people or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was much more laid back, and it also allowed us to put the spotlight on other people besides us,
Hmm.
which is always great because then people are going to go watch them. Their channels are going to grow. It's just all circular. The more healthy a community is, the more people are going to be watching that category. It just snowballs. So that's kind of the idea behind that, is what we wanted to do.
So your channel's growing. You're very successful in these tournaments. At what was there a moment where you're like, okay, like I can make this happen full time? Like, because at some point with
Yeah.
everyone I've talked to, there's an inherent risk. Like I have to give up a lot to maybe see if this works. Like, at what
Yeah.
point did you know? Like, did you feel like, okay, I got a shot to do this?
The second that I got my 500th sub, I turned my 2 week notice in. And I was like, suck it, bitches. I'm playing video games for a living. Because they always gave me shit. Because I would be like, hey, I need to take off early today. I got a raid on World of Warcraft. And they'd be like, oh, you got to go home and play your video games. Oh, it's so nice that you can prioritize that over working here. And da 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 da. Like, they give me crap about it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. My hobby is more important than my job. Yeah, deal with it.
Yeah.
And so to be able to go in there and turn my 2 weeks in and be like, I have a better job. I am making more money than what I am making waiting tables here with my 500 subs. Like, and I can quit. That was just so satisfying to me. Um,
So when that happened, and I know that you mentioned your family is very supportive. I know your mom's been extremely supportive, like almost visible way. I know she makes stuff. She used to make hats for you.
mhm.
When things were growing, how did you explain it to your family?
So I didn't really need to explain things to my family because my mom took like a vested interest in it in general. At that point, she had already started playing League of Legends, which I still don't even know how that happened. Like my friend was like, "Oh, you should play this game with us." And then she was like, "Okay." And then she downloaded it and then she just started playing it all the time. And it like League is not an easy game to get into, especially for someone like my mom who really hasn't been a gamer her whole life, and then she's jumping into that. Like, it was kind of shocking for me, but it kind of gave that groundwork for, okay, I know what gaming is. I know what League of Legends is. All of the great pro players are on Twitch. My son's on Twitch. That's where people stream video games. Like, she introduced me to Soda Poppin'. Well, like I knew who he was, but she would be like, "Oh man, do you know who Soda Poppin' is? I've been watching his stream and he's so funny." And I'm like, "Mom, you don't even know what World of Warcraft is." And she's like, "It doesn't matter. He's hilarious." I'm just like, "Oh God, it's."
So your mom essentially went from not playing any games to playing League of Legends.
Yeah, and so from that point, like she was already on Twitch. I didn't have to convince her. I didn't have to explain anything to her. She figured it out on her own. She was watching channels. She's talking to me about who's doing what. Like she's kind of like even keeps an ear to the ground for me, like and lets me know what's going on with other streamers and what other good ideas that she's seen that she thinks would work for my channel. Like they're actually really interested in what I do. Even my dad watches streams. um, a lot. He tries to play Don't Starve. He's not very good at it, but like he dies after day 10 like every time. But bless his heart, he tries for 3 months to
That's
get
good.
that fire going.
That's got to be a cool feeling for you, for your family, to like, it's one thing to be like supportive, and it's another, like, it sounds like they're really rallying behind you. Like that. That has to be awesome.
Yeah. Well, they've seen like at first they weren't sure what to think. It's all I didn't know what to think. It's all new. It's all a relatively new market. Um, Nobody knows where it's going to be in 5 years. If it's going to be around, if it's going to be big, if it's going to be smaller. It is a risk to do for sure, 100%. Because what makes your channel as successful is your community that comes in every day. Without those people coming into your channel, like your channel's worthless. And there's a lot of people that take that for granted. But it's definitely risky, but they saw the inherent value. They saw that I was making, a pretty decent living. I was making more than at that point I had scaled my work down to 2 days
Hmm.
because I was focusing on Twitch primarily. So I was only working 2 days at the restaurant, and obviously 500 subs is going to outweigh what I'm making at a family restaurant, in tips. It's not like fine dining or something where I'm making $100 a night. A good day at O'Charlie's was making $60 in like, 5 to 6 hours.
Hmm.
It's that's a good day, and you're busting your ass for that. You're waiting on like multiple tables. You have running side work you have to do. You're lifting ice buckets. You're carrying super wet glass racks and tea urns. You're cleaning. Like it's no joke. It was a lot of work. So they saw my channel growing. They saw that I was passionate about it and that I love doing it. Um, and they had enough information about it where I think they were kind of comfortable with me doing it.
So,
So
I mean, you speak in terms of like you're very appreciative, and it seems like you don't take anything for granted. In terms of, when you hit those 500 subs, and then, things continued to grow and grow and grow. Like, what was that like dealing with that? Because I know at this point, like, your channel's exploded. You're one of the most successful streamers on Twitch in terms of people know you. You make a full time living doing this. Like, at what point for you, like, and you haven't changed. So, like, what is that like as you're watching that explosion? Like, how do you deal with that? Because I know it's a lot different dealing with your channel now than it was in the early days.
So I had a conversation with Soragen, one of my friends, the other day, who's part of my team on main menu. He does a lot of the back end and stuff for us. And so there's always this like want for more, but it doesn't necessarily stem from the desire to make more money or to become more popular. It comes from the desire to not have your channel be in decline.
Hmm.
Um, because if your channel is not growing, then it is shrinking, right? And the more it shrinks, that's like a ticking time bomb to like, I can't do this as a job anymore. I'm gonna have to go find another means to support myself. So that fear is kind of what drives you to always try to be growing your channel, but it's also very hard to keep yourself reeled in when you're like, oh man, I had 3,000 viewers today instead of 5,000. What am I doing wrong? When there's people with 50 viewers and they're like, yes, 50 viewers, awesome, this is great. Like, and 50 viewers is great. So you kind of got to keep yourself grounded in terms of that. Like, you can't let that get to your head because you have to realize where you're at in comparison to everybody else and kind of use that as a way to gauge yourself.
Hmm.
But you kind of always want to be growing. But that being said, like I'm in a very comfortable position right now. As long as I maintain where I'm at, I'm gonna be okay for at least like the next 5 years. As long as something drastic doesn't happen, um, I I've kind of like chilled out. I'm more at peace with where I'm at, and as far as like being grateful and um, not letting things get to you and stuff like that. Honestly, I feel like you say that my channel growing and stuff should make me feel or would on a normal person like how do I deal with that, how do I handle the growth and stuff and stuff like that, but to me like the community has grown slowly. It's like watching a puppy grow up into a dog. It's all of a sudden you don't realize you have a giant dog when you bought a puppy 6 months ago or whatever. Like you don't really see that growth. You just realize it after he's turned from a puppy into a dog because you see it every day. It's the same thing with streaming. You see that little bit of growth or that little bit of change every day, and it doesn't register with you from point A to point B from 0 to 12 months how much you've grown in that period until you sit down and look at it and you're like, wow, look at how well we did or how poorly we did in that amount of time. But for me, because of that, I just feel like, honestly, I feel like I still got 100 viewers, man. I feel like I've got 100 viewers. I just started streaming. The time has gone by in a flash. Like I don't feel any different from when I started streaming. I don't feel like I'm a special. I don't feel like I'm popular. I just feel like I got a lot more friends now. And this is where the talk with Sorgen came in because we were talking to another person, rated E for Elsbeth, who is a really cool person. And she was talking about something called imposter syndrome, where it's you get into your own head like you don't deserve these things. And even if you maybe do, like you get in your head that you don't, like you're an imposter, like you're not the person that people, you don't feel like you're the person that deserves something where you're at, I guess is what it is.
Do you feel that way?
I definitely do. I feel like I don't deserve anything. Like people are like, oh, have this $50 tip. Like you deserve this. Thanks for the entertainment. I'm like, I don't deserve that at all.
Yeah,
if you want to sub, maybe sure, but just handing me a $50 bill, that's fucking crazy, man.
But
that's
how can
insane.
you say that? I mean, you've been streaming for however many years. Like, I don't want to call it grinding, but you've been doing the same thing every single day, and 2 or 3 years ago the payoff wasn't there, but now it's like those people have been watching you for that long. Like, so you don't like you
But
don't.
they're already in my channel supporting me by just watching. Like how could I ask them to do anything else?
Yeah.
Like that's already the number one thing. Like they're little, like I always say, they're little genies granting me wishes every day.
That's a cool way to look at it.
Yeah.
You had mentioned that like it's kind of in the past it was like a ticking time bomb in terms of like how you look at your channel, and then you just mentioned that like now you're very chill about it. Like you're at peace
I'm
with
trying to be.
how have you? What have you done to like give yourself some solace or put yourself at ease with being okay and happy with where you are now?
Honestly, I think being in a relationship has helped a lot with that.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me. She's really good about my streaming schedule and everything, but it just brings me back down to earth to be like, it's okay to take a day off. It's okay to take a half day to take your girlfriend out to a movie or to dinner. Most people have 2 days a week that they aren't working. And I work 7 days a week every day. I try to never take a day off. But when you're in a relationship and you have friends, and I guess having a little bit more of a real life has kind of helped with that because I have my relationship, my girlfriend to lean on, and then I've got other friends that I've been doing real life stuff with and hanging out with them a little bit more in real life. And I'm appreciative of them, and I want to make sure that just like I take care of my community and my stream, that I also take care of them as well. And so they keep me grounded because they keep me from being like as insane about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I'll be like, I need to stream. My stream's doing bad. I need to get on. I lost 10 subs a day. And they'll be like, just chill. It's gonna be okay. They're gonna be back tomorrow. Like they reassure me a lot. Like I need a lot of reassurance, but it's over the past 6 months, I say, I've gotten a lot better about that. Like I'm usually a very chill, laid back person, but when it comes to my stream, I'm so passionate and dedicated to it. Like I don't want to let anything get in my way. And if I ever thought I was failing, I would just stream probably like 18 hours a day until I die. Just like trying not to let it go, slip through my fingers.
Do you think that having more of I don't want to use the term balanced life, but having a life outside of your stream, do you think that's made you a better streamer?
It definitely has, because there comes a point where if you're on your stream every single day, you run out of shit to talk about, man. Like, you can bounce off stuff that chat says, but I don't have any life experiences to share. Like, I can't be like, oh man, this homeless guy tried to stab me outside the grocery store today. Or all these things, or I went to PAX and I hung out with so and so, and dude, Rampage Jackson hit on this chick at this party, and it was crazy. Like it just gives you more to talk about. Like you're more of a person, you have more of a personality rather than I'm sitting here 7 days a week in front of my computer. I'm in my own little world, and nothing really influences that. I'd be like, oh yeah, I heard it was sunny outside today, but I don't really know because I didn't go out there. Like, it gives you more personality and depth, I guess, to like to have stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't know, it just makes you more of a real person. Not that I'm not a real person, but I'm kind of a robot when it comes to streaming sometimes. So
Well, no,
having those stories to tell definitely helps.
that makes, I mean, that gives a unique perspective in terms of, what by saying, hey, look, like, I work really hard, but I still have a life. Like, I'm sure it makes, like you said, a more dynamic cast of people want to know, like, when you get back from PAX East, people are going to be in your chat being, hey, what happened? What was cool? What did you see? What did you like?
Hmm.
I think that's really cool to hear that you've kind of evolved a little bit and found like a balance outside of streaming, which is cool, because it clearly hasn't hurt your stream. It's only things have continued to grow for you, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, well, streaming still takes 90% of my time and precedence. I've literally given up like a 10% wiggle room. But for me, like you can ask anybody, my girlfriend didn't even think like I would take a day off ever. And so like when I decided on my own to take a half day and to take it out for dinner, she was like, "What? We're doing what tonight? Are you? Who are you?" And I'm just like, "I'm trying to get better, sweetie. Like, I want this to work. I want us to be able to do stuff like this every now and then. Maybe not every day, maybe not like every week even, but I should be okay with doing that." And you know what? Because I have put so much work into my channel and I don't take that much time off, when I do take those little days or I do go to those events, my community is so awesome about it. They're like, dude, you deserve it. Go out there, make your girlfriend happy. Like, we're going to be fine. We'll be here for you tomorrow. Like, there's hardly ever a guy in chat just like, screw you, man. This is BS. Like, you promised stuff you stream. This is crap.
You only stream 75 hours this week instead of 80.
Yeah, and I've seen that with other streamers though. Like they'll take a month off and like they'll post, "Hey, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends tonight. No stream tonight." Their people will be like, "Oh, another day off. Great. You're really letting down your community." Like they'll go in on them. And I've never had that issue with my community because I feel like I provide enough entertainment, hopefully, for everybody that they're happy.
Well, I think
You know?
that's cool, and it speaks to your community that they're happy that you're happy, and then if you need to take like a half day or a day off to like get some air, like they know you're probably gonna come back a better streamer, and that's cool. I just think that's cool that that's the type of community that you've built that is extremely supportive of you. But I guess it's not that unique to your life in terms of the people that it sounds like have been around your life in terms of your family, your friends, and now your girlfriend that are extremely supportive of you, which is it's cool that that's kind of what you put out, so that's what you've gotten back, which is cool. So let me ask you this in terms of the future. So you've been doing this for how many years now?
Almost 4, coming up this next
That's
August.
crazy,
It'll be
man.
4.
Time
It went by
flies,
so
man.
fast, man.
That's crazy.
Even like we've known each other for like almost 2, 3 years now. Like
Yes,
I
since
can't believe that.
yeah, I'm not gonna be one of those Cobalt hipsters, but I remember when like watching you in the early days, and then, but so so you've been streaming for 4 years. If you had to make a prediction, if you have to infer or take a guess how things are gonna go, not just for you, but in terms of the live streaming space, because I think you have your own foothold. You've cemented yourself
Yeah.
in a very strong way. But what do you think Twitch is going to look like 2 or 3 years from now?
And it's really hard to tell. It's honestly really scary because it has been growing consistently. And my main fear, and we've already even kind of seen this, like, don't get me wrong, I love Bob Ross, okay? And I love watching the channel and I love all these cool things that Twitch are doing. But when you bring like TV and celebrities and just all of these other factors onto Twitch, like it's just gonna keep getting harder and harder and harder to break into it as a career.
Hmm.
If you're doing it for fun and as a hobby, go for it. Have fun. You know, just don't worry about growing your channel. Don't worry about getting partner. Don't worry about getting your sub button. Just have fun with it. Um, but I just think it's going to be keep getting harder and harder. It's going to be super saturated. If we have people like Snoop Dogg coming online and streaming consistently, that is scary for somebody like me or somebody that's not into esports. That's a variety streamer. That's an entertainment streamer because I feel like a lot of people that watch me or a lot of our communities will gravitate towards things like that, watching TV shows, watching celebrities, do these things,
See,
and they're going to
I'm
have
gonna push
production
back.
value.
I'm gonna disagree with you because I'm gonna say if your viewers and your audience has a chance to watch Snoop Dogg, just say play Isaac or you play Isaac, they may watch him for 10 minutes, but I don't think they're gonna always come back to Dad. They're always
Yeah,
gonna come back to.
but if that's for one game, and for somebody like me who's trying to break into more variety stuff, which I feel like I've been fairly successful with it lately. Just my community's been really responsive and awesome with certain games and stuff like that. Like if Snoop Dogg is playing 5 different games a week and I'm playing 5 different games a week, they might want to go watch Snoop Dogg
Yeah,
play those 5 different games a week.
but
You
see,
know?
but see, and I think this is something you wouldn't say about yourself, but I mean, a lot of people would consider you a Twitch celebrity, and I don't know that's a weird thing to hear, but I mean that is the case. Like when you think of people on Twitch, people put you at like when I've seen you at PAX. There's people around you all the time. That's celebrity
For whatever
esque.
reason.
What's that? No, but I'm being
Whatever
serious. Where it's
reason.
like that's interesting to hear that's would be your concern. I thought you were going to go a different direction because
You don't think so? Like, I just feel like that could overtake stuff, and I'm just one guy. So, if I feel like if mainstream media got more involved with Twitch, it's less opportunities for people like me, less front paging for events. I'm gonna have to fight with freaking Snoop Dogg over front page, less just support from Twitch in general about that stuff. A lot of the audience are going to go to those hype channels. I know when Bob Ross first came out, I watch my numbers like a hawk, and I'm not complaining. But you see dips in numbers, and when Bob Ross goes offline or AGDQ goes offline, you get 500 to 1,000 more people in your channel. Like I see those people coming in and out, and where those numbers are focused on Twitch, and I mean, I guess it could bring more people from outside onto the onto Twitch, but I don't know. It's just a fear. Like I said, I'm one guy. I don't have a team of people that I could pay to make me overlays and all these crazy things like Geek and Sundry, for example. Like they have a whole production team and all of these things. They can make these ridiculous D&D streams with 8 different cameras and special lighting and green screen backdrops and special effects. And I just don't have that kind of stuff. So at what point do I need to step up my innovation to that level, and how can I scale my channel to that without like having the means to pay for employees because I'm just a single person,
Do you,
you know?
but do you
I
ever
don't know.
do you ever think that they can do all those things they want, but they can never capture what you have? Like that people will continue to
I
come
don't
back to
know.
you because you're you, and no matter.
Maybe I should be more confident, but I probably should be more confident. I've just never like I don't like to. My girlfriend's always like, you shouldn't be down on yourself so much. Like you always make fun of yourself, and I'm like, well, I'm really self conscious. I don't feel special. I don't feel like a celebrity. I don't feel popular. I just feel like I'm very fortunate to have all these great people on my channel.
Is
They're here for whatever reason, but I don't feel like special or anything, or I don't know.
is that weird for you? Like when you go to a TwitchCon and you go to a PAX, and I mean, that's what you're
Super
saying.
surreal.
But how people are around you say something completely different. There's people excited to be around you, taking
I
pictures.
know, and it blows my mind every time, man. And that's probably 80% of the reason why I even go to events is because I know people get like that. I don't know why, but they want to meet me. They're excited to meet me. They want me to sign their stuff that I feel like I'm ruining with my terrible handwriting. Like, I honestly, it's surreal to me. I can't believe it. And every time it happens, I'm just like super flattered. because I don't feel like their excitement is founded, even though like I'm happy to provide whatever they want, and I want to be out there. If one person was excited to meet me, I'd go to an event, to put myself out there for them to be able to come meet. Like, I don't know. I also get really worried that when somebody does meet me in person, they're going to be disappointed, and when they get back home, they're not going to want to watch my stream anymore, just because they don't like I've disappointed them in some way. Like I don't look the same or whatever, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I imagine it's a lot to deal with, and considering how much effort and hard work you've put into your community. But you brought up something that I just want to kind of wrap things up with this interview about. You talked about like, a Geek and Sundry having this team, and you
Hmm.
worry about like, TV and celebrities getting involved in Twitch. But with that, what's your take on the business of Twitch? Like, because I know that there's times when companies approach you with different brand deals and things like that may not have been around a year or two ago. What's your take on that in terms of the business side of Twitch as an individual popular broadcaster?
Um, I love Twitch. I wouldn't be able to do what I do without Twitch,
Hmm.
but Twitch is going to take care of Twitch. You know, it's also I'm going to say Twitch is also kind of a boys' club, and even I wasn't for the first 2 years. I was going to every PAX event, standing at the booth, trying to meet these guys, trying to mingle with them, trying to get a way in, so that when I needed, like, for example, front page, in the Balls of Steel tournament, I could get stuff like that without having too much of a hassle. Just stuff like that, or meet and greets, or whatever. And it took a long time for me to even get that kind of stuff. And it's just very Twitch is very like they have favoritism in that regards. They don't have a system for that.
Hmm.
They're always going to develop tools that's going to make them more money. That's what they're there for. They're great though. They have helped me a ton, but in general speaking, it's a boys club, and they're going to work on tools that are going to grow their website and make them more money rather than things that we're clamoring for as users.
Like what
Like, for
would
example,
yeah, what would be some?
a dark mode for Twitch.
Hmm.
Like they'd rather roll out turbo mode or something like that they've worked on, rather than giving us the option to click a button to make Twitch dark. And so then it falls on other developers like Better Twitch TV and stuff to come in here and kind of pick up the slack, which is what they're planning on. But to me, that philosophy is kind of meh. But
So
I think they're going to do whatever is going to make them grow.
if you
Whatever
feel
they
like
think's
you have
best.
an issue or something that needs to be done or something you'd like to do you feel like you're at this point you feel like you're properly supported by
I mean,
Twitch?
I can give them feedback. Like, I feel like I can provide them feedback because I've made those connections over the years.
Hmm.
But for people that are newer or just coming into it or that are coming up, it may not be as easy. Um, to be able to provide that feedback or to get heard. And then I'm not sure how far they take that feedback. I'm kind of waiting to see on a couple of things before I divulge too much information. Like, there's
Yeah.
a couple of things that they've brought to my attention that I've given them feedback on that I haven't really seen how they're going to, like, what they're going to do with it yet. And I'm kind of waiting to see, because I think that's going to me speak very loudly with kind of their motives and what direction they're trying to take things. For example, if, like, I know for a fact that they bring a feature or something to me that I don't like, and if I talk to Joe Blow beside me and they've talked to him and he doesn't like it, and that's the general consensus on our side, and then they still go ahead with it, then that, it's pretty clear cut.
Hmm.
So they haven't really given me anything that I've given feedback on, where they've just completely botched it yet. But I don't know. It's I love Twitch. I hope for the next 10 years, 20 years that I can be a part of Twitch. I'd rather be on Twitch than any other broadcasting site. But at the end of the day, they're a company. They're a company. They need to make money. Amazon bought them, and I don't know how far our feedback goes. I'm kind of waiting. I'm kind of feeling that out still. I guess how far our feedback carries with them.
You mentioned that Twitch is kind of like an old boys club. What do you mean by that?
So it's very favoritism. Like it's almost like being part of. I feel like sometimes like a country club or something where you're either in or you're out. You know, um, man,
Are
it's
you
hard to explain.
are you in the country club or are you out of the country club in your opinion?
I felt for a while I wasn't, but over the past 2 years, I've definitely been able to make a lot more connections and friends, and I feel like I'm catered to a lot more so than your average streamer, which like I don't expect that, but I've definitely put the work in, I guess, the
Hmm.
time to try to make that happen,
Hmm.
and it took me a lot of hard work, and yeah, it's just like people you need to appeal to people that do the work for Twitch that can also help you, and they need to like you.
Hmm.
So
Okay. No,
you're
I
putting the spot here. It's a little
no,
uncomfortable.
I get it. We'll change
I
topics.
don't want Twitch to like hate me. I love Twitch. They have great employees.
No,
I think they're a fantastic company. I don't know what the future holds at all. I'm still trying to see how much weight our feedback has, and I feel like I feel like they definitely cater to me, and it's awesome, and I appreciate it. I don't know if that's the same for everybody in my experience, um, and I hope that in the future that there's some middle ground where they come up with a way to kind of put everybody on a more even playing field because this is all new territory. We've never really had a website like this. Like it's all new, you know.
hmm.
It's like a new frontier. So
Got it.
figuring out the best way to move forward and to deal with things on a case by case basis is what everybody's going to have to do.
So I want to ask you two final questions before we wrap up your interview section. The first one is did you ever imagine a world, or tell me what it's like for you when a game company reaches out to you and they're like, "Hey, we're interested in doing some sort of like sponsorship or promotional deal with you." Like, is that what was that like the first time you got that in like a serious manner?
Well, it's pretty mind blowing that anybody would want you to do something like that for them. It feels really good, but it all comes back to like your morals and ethics as a streamer.
Hmm.
Because if you go full sellout mode, people are gonna people are gonna know, man. It's gonna reflect poorly in your community.
What's
Um,
full sellout mode? You have to call anyone out, but like, what does full sellout mode look like?
So full sellout mode is being a sellout. The definition is you're promoting a product or something for monetary gain that you don't necessarily like yourself,
Okay.
or that you would not normally endorse yourself.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I could jump on every freaking energy drink that blew through, or every mobile Candy Crush game that wanted to pay me to play something on Twitch, but I'm very, very, very particular with what I'll promote as far as sponsored content. Um, if it's a new game that's not out yet that I wouldn't have access to until the game came out or I was able to preview it, those are always hit or miss. Either the game's going to be really cool or you're going to be miserable playing it. And if I'm miserable playing it, I always make sure that it's understood that I can back out of it without payment or compensation of any type at any time I want. Um, that's like number one. I want to be able, if I'm not enjoying something or my community just hates it, I want to be able to stop it right there. Um, but that being said, I look at gameplay trailers, I look at the websites, I look at reviews, I look at art styles, I listen to the music, I look at all the quality of these things before I make those decisions. If the game is already out, I will ask for a key or I'll download it. I'll play it for a couple hours before I get back and give a definite answer. I hate the idea of parading something around that I don't have its back on
Hmm.
just because I want to make a quick buck.
Hmm.
I'm in it for the long run. I don't want to sully my or dirty my reputation because I'm trying to make like a grand or something, you know? Like that to me is not worth it. I would much rather play something I enjoy and be like, yeah, guys, this is a sponsored stream, but it's an awesome game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think you guys would too. You know, you can pick it up here, whatever. Or this energy drink's really delicious. I actually like it, you know? Like if Smartwater called me tomorrow and they wanted to sponsor me, I drink that shit every day on stream. People are all already making jokes about me being sponsored by them, you know? Something like that is fine, but it's really cool to get those opportunities, and it's crazy, but you got to be super careful about jumping on stuff like that because if you try to force something on your community that you don't necessarily like yourself, or just doesn't fit, or is just bad in general, because people will pay a lot of money for you to play terrible stuff, and I don't understand it.
So,
Like how you're paying me how much money to play this game that I don't think is even making money? Like what? I'm gonna pass.
so you brought up an interesting thing that, you said you can essentially pull the ripcord. So say you take a deal, it's not working out, you don't like it, and you can get out of it. Have you ever had to do that? And you don't have to tell me the game or like crap on the game, but have you ever had to back
I've
out?
never had to do that, but I've had friends that have had to do that
Got it.
before.
Okay. Got it. No, it's just
So
that's cool that you think that much ahead to be like, okay, if this doesn't work out,
yeah.
I don't want to be contractually bound to do something harmful
I
to
actually picked up a manager. So I have a manager that helps me with all that stuff now too, because it's very time consuming. Like trying to reach out to developers and make those deals, and then they want statistics and they want number crunch. Like I don't have the skills, the tools to provide people with analytics or to even know my own value a lot of the time when I'm trying to price something or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and sought out help with that, and that's basically what my manager does is like if I see a game that I'm interested in, I'm like, hey, this game looks cool. Do you know them? Can we reach out to them? And then they handle it, and then they come back and tell me what's up and like how possible it is to work with them, what they're down to do. Like they'll crunch numbers for me. They'll negotiate stuff. They'll even tell me I can even go and ask them like, hey, this game looks cool. What's the skinny on it? Do you guys think it'd be good for me to play on my channel? And they'll give me like their full opinion on it. They're really smart people. So it's just great to have more support and not to be like. I mean, my girlfriend does that stuff too as well. Like she's great for that as well, being a gamer. But it's nice to be able to have like someone else besides yourself to bounce feedback off of. Because yeah, I don't get out much. So
Yeah. No, and then plus with your best interest in mind, in terms of the better you do, they're going to do as well. So last
Exactly.
question for you on this interview portion is if you had to look back and tell a young Cobalt who's just starting out on Twitch, if you could relay some information back to yourself at an early age starting out on Twitch, something that you've learned along the way, is there anything that you would want to tell young Cobalt or under 30 Cobalt that may have helped him along the way that you've had to learn? I had to get the under 30.
yeah, so when I first started streaming, I wasn't like really true to my own personality. I tried to be a lot more PG, and I found out that when you're in front of the camera for that long, your personality is going to bleed out whether you want it to or not. So I would say like just be true to who I am. Don't be scared to like make a lewd joke every now and then, or to be a little silly or whatever. Because I was like really proper for my first couple of months streaming. I was like, all right, guys, we're just gonna play some Isaac. No cursing. We don't make sexual jokes in here. It's very PG. Like it was not. It was just not me. So
Where did that come from? If that wasn't you, like, why did you think you had to do that, or did you?
I was modeling it off other channels that I watched at the time
Got
and
it.
saw that they were successful with it,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt that that was kind of like what was to be expected from streamers that were successful at that time.
Mm-hmm. No, it makes complete sense.
Yeah.
So I still get a kick out of when I tune into your channel and then like someone will do something like out of line and then you just roast them. Because you don't see that a ton. Like you'll just be like, hey, that's not accepted here. Like you can see yourself out and then gone,
Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes not all of that is necessary, but I do feel like it's important sometimes to vocally chastise somebody because then it sets an example for what's not okay for everybody else to do in the channel, like where the line is.
Yeah.
And a lot of time I feel really bad, but sometimes it's just funny. Like sometimes I'll just think of something like really witty and retort that I think's funny, that maybe kind of jerkish or sarcastic, and I'll just go for it.
All
It's
right.
just funny to me. I don't know. I've trolled people before as well. I've been there. I like to troll back sometimes. Plus, I am not scared to say things to people to their face. And like some of that stuff people come at you and say to you in the chat, they won't walk up to me in packs and say that because I will knock them on their ass. Like fight me at PAX, bro. Come say it to my face. You won't.
All right, so so as we transition from the interview, Cobalt, we like to wrap up the first segment here by playing a game we call 21 Questions. And I know you're a pretty competitive guy, so the way we judge arbitrary success in this is based on you answering questions without thinking about them. So we're looking for your gut reaction with just like we just want to know. This is another way for us to get to know you a little bit better. Just so, for example, they're they're or questions. So is it apples or oranges? We just want you to hear your answer as fast as possible. Make sense?
No problem.
Okay. Some of these questions are tough, and some of these are funny. Some of them are neither.
Okay.
You ready to go?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go.
First question is waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes for sure.
PAX or TwitchCon?
Oh, PAX.
Okay. Do you miss the beard or do not miss the beard? I'm talking about the monster.
I don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Bob Ross or Piano Man?
Bob Rouse.
Original Isaac or Rebirth?
Rebirth.
Turning 30 or turning 15?
Turning 15.
Favorite random YouTube person on Twitch, Andy Milanakis or Tay Zonde?
Probably Tay.
Okay.
I just don't watch Andy enough.
Best channel emote, Locor or Ladarius?
Gonna have to go with Locors. OG.
You actually can't use Ladarius as Pizza Wizard, but that's an inside joke. All right. What would you rather have on your channel? Back seating or always people talking about getting modded?
People talking about getting modded for sure. All day, because I just ban them either way.
Shaving the beard or drinking the ranch?
Oh, please shave the beard. I don't want to ever drink ranch again.
Can you
Shave my whole body. I'll shave my whole body bald.
Where did that come from? The drinking of the ranch. How did that come about?
I was on a cast with a couple of people back in the day that I used to stream with on my old team, and one of them was like, "Oh, so we were talking about like what we would do for a certain amount of follows," and he was like, "For 5,000 follows, would you chug a bottle of ranch?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'd do that shit, no problem. Are you kidding me? For 5,000 for sure." And he was like, "Okay, you heard it, guys. Cobalt's gonna chug a bottle of ranch at 5,000." And I was like, "Oh my god, really?" Because I follow through with everything. I followed through with every single thing I've ever told my channel I was gonna do, except for getting my tattoo at 2,500 subs. And that's only because I can't find a damn artist that wants me to videotape it. Like, I'm still looking for an artist that'll do it.
What are you gonna get a tattoo of?
I'm gonna get an Isaac tattoo. It's the Wrath of the Lamb skull, and it's gonna have a. One of my viewers made it for me, like custom the drawing, but it's like a Wrath of the Lamb skull, and in the background it's a godhead behind it, and it's like I don't know, it looks really awesome.
Where are you gonna get it put?
On my left arm. I have a Horde tattoo on my right arm. From,
you do?
Yeah, from World of Warcraft, a Horde, like Alliance and Horde.
Can we see it?
So, yeah, it's just a simple little Horde tattoo.
Nice.
Only one I have. My dad took me to get it my 21st, like around my 21st birthday.
Cool.
Just randomly.
Did you have to explain to the tattoo artist what it was?
Yeah. He messed it up a little bit. I need to get it touched up actually and fixed up, but it's not a tattoo I got for people to look at. It's for me.
Yeah.
Because Horde for life.
Okay, I got you. What was your favorite race in class, and WoW?
So Orc Death Knight, and then I would go probably Undead Mage after that.
Okay. All right. So we're only about halfway through of these questions. We got to jump back in. All right. Next one is fight everyone at PAX East or fight Richard Hammer.
I'd rather fight everyone at PAX East because I know I got backup, and I know Richard fights real dirty.
All right.
Well, I think I would win the fight. We've talked about this. I would win the fight, but I'd like lose an eyeball in the process.
Versus Richard Hammer.
Yeah, because
Okay.
he goes for the fish hook, the eyeballs, the nuts, all that, a full 9 yards.
All right. Next question is Mr. Squeezy or Drop the Low Core. Favorite saying.
Mr. Squeezy.
All right.
Oh, more.
Balls of Steel or Boiler.
Balls of steel.
Would
That's
you
easy.
would you rather meet Ladarius in person or meet the president?
Oh God. I'd go with Ladarius. I don't care about our president. Is that bad?
Would you prefer to break the game or have a perfect lost run?
I'd prefer to have the perfect lost run like 20 times in a row. That'd be great.
X,
Breaking the game is not hard.
XSplit or OBS?
OBS.
Northern Lion or Rockley Smile?
Oh God. Can't ask me that. Oh God. I like Rockley. I like Rockley a smidgen better just because I'm closer friends with him. Northern Lion, when he's not on cast, he's off with Kate and YouTubing. And Nick, I can just like message him. We can just go BS,
Shots
we just
fired.
go play games and stuff.
Shots fired. All right.
He's just a busy man. He's a great guy. He's funny.
Next question. Favorite non-released Team Meat or Edmund game? Eugenics or Legend of Bumbo?
Oh man, I want Mugenics so bad. I haven't seen enough about Bumbo, but from what I knew about Mugenics, like I want it real bad. I want to freeze my cats in the freezer and make them and thaw them and make them make babies.
All right, next question. PAX East or PAX Prime?
PAX Prime all day. I hate Boston. Sorry, Boston. Love Seattle.
Tyrone or Edmund?
I'm better friends with Tyrone. Edmund's too reclusive. Tyrone's really funny and trolly and messages me like every other day.
So Tyrone?
Tyrone for sure.
All right, last question. Go on Big Brother or never stream on Twitch again?
I'd go on Big Brother. That's a hard one. But I'd go with the gut. That's a dream, dude. That's bucket list.
Dude. I was.
Oh, wait, ever stream again?
I was gonna bet my life that was the easiest question. You'd say, yeah.
I don't know, man.
Wait.
In retrospect, streaming again, like okay, taking off a summer would be hard. Never streaming again, I'd have to win Big Brother. I'd have to win it.
Okay, wait. I think I
I'd have to
misunderstood
say win
you.
Big Brother. If it was win Big Brother or never stream again, win Big Brother.
Wait, I misunderstood you. I thought that you said never stream again. So you would take. Okay, I phrased that. I screwed that one up.
Real bad.
Okay. Wait, so if you could. So would you rather go on Big Brother or never, or would you?
Game.
So you would give up streaming forever to go on Big Brother?
If I won Big Brother, if it was like the devil was like, you can get on Big Brother and win it, and I would know I would be. See, I would miss Twitch so much though.
That's why I was shocked. So you
I would miss Twitch so much.
Wow. Well, at least we know your answer. Cobalt.
That's like 51%, 49% right there. That's the closest one.
Cobalt confirmed retiring to go on Big Brother. Never.
I don't think they'll understand. Like, I've seen every season 3 times.
For those people who don't know, Big Brother is a reality TV show. Some people in your chat are asking. All right, so
pissed when they hear that, they're gonna think I don't love Twitch.
So now that
my broke, this guy said.
So as we go into break, it's confirmed that Cobalt is retiring. But we're gonna take a quick break. When we return, we're gonna put Cobalt through the final Shooting Stars Ultimate Challenge of the season. What that means is it's our version of American Gladiators. Cobalt's going to play a series of 3 games that all of our previous guests have played. If he gets the top score, he's going to go home with a championship belt for Season 1. I know Cobalt's a competitive guy. We're going to find out how he's going to do when we get back right after the break. We'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, and we are back with the second half of Shooting Stars Live, the finale with CobaltStreak. Before we get into Quake Live, which is our first game, I'll explain the rules. We're going to go ahead and play just a few audience questions. So let me turn this down. So we're going to play a couple questions from you guys in the audience. You guys called in and left a voicemail question for Cobalt. And then we're going to jump right into Quake Live. So, Cobalt, you ready for...
I'm ready.
All right, cool. This first one is from Anonymous, so we're just going to take this one and see what it is here. These have all, I haven't heard these yet, but these have all been screened by our assistant producer. Here we go. First question.
Who is your favorite pizza wizard, and why is it Ladarius?
I mean, Ladarius' magic knows no bounds. You order a pizza and it can mystically teleport itself onto your doorstep, without even the breaking a wind. I don't know.
All right, Anonymous, thanks for that question. This other one is from Garbonix, who's a regular in my channel. Let's see what he has to say.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Cobalt. This is Garbonix. If Ladarius, the pizza wizard, and Gandalf got in a fight, who would win?
I don't think that Gandalf could stop the mighty pizza rain attack, the meteor strike of pepperoni. So he may be able to deflect it for a little while, but ultimately I think the shower of sausage would eventually just drown Gandalf in meaty goodness.
All right. Thank you guys for those questions. We're going to jump in to Quake Live here, and I'm going to explain the rules to both you guys and Cobalt at the same time. So the way this works, Cobalt, is we're going to play 2 5-minute rounds, and there's no penalty for dying. So, you could die 100 times, it doesn't matter. What you get points for is killing. So for each kill you get is 25 points. Make sense?
Sounds good.
Okay. So you're going to be playing against me and then 2 bots. So they've been the exact same bots all season long with the exact same difficulties. So it's going to be 3-on-1. Where's your confidence level in your ability to, in your Quake Live ability?
I've been playing a lot of Overwatch.
Okay.
So shouldn't be too bad.
Okay. All right. This will be interesting to see. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move you to the red team. And then we're going to go. So what's going to happen is to make the teams unbalanced, I have to start the game. So it's going to start, and then I'm going to pause it right away. Hang on one second. I'm going to move orb. Hang on one second.
Prepare your team.
Okay, so it's going to pause right away, and then we'll start.
One. Fight.
Okay, cool. All right, so Cobalt is going to be on the red team. Everyone else is going to be on the blue team. Cobalt,
Taken.
good luck, man. Any early
Thank
predictions?
you.
How many kills do you think you're going to get in this 5-minute round?
Oh, maybe 10?
10? Okay. All right, here we go. Good luck, man. I know you're competitive, man. I know you're competitive.
I'm pretty competitive.
All right, here we go. Good luck, man. Championship belt on the line starting now. But it is a 3-game tally, so you're going to be all right.
Teams are tied.
All right, so Cobalt's the red. I'll keep you guys posted with the score updates. Oh, God. I know that we didn't talk about it on... Oh, dang. We didn't talk about the stream, but you actually went to Blizzard, right? Can you talk about that at all? Or...
I did go to Blizzard to play Overwatch for a bit. It was a lot of fun. They have a really cool campus.
Being like a lifetime Blizzard fan, was that pretty surreal for you? What was that experience
It was. Their campus is just amazing. They have a bunch of different,
Lead long.
oh god, sorry. They have a bunch of different statues and stuff set up from their BlizzCon events and whatnot. So I don't know. I took pictures and it's just a really awesome company. It kind of renewed my faith in them as a company, honestly. Because since Activision took over, I wasn't really sure if their games were even going to be something I wanted to play in the future, but they definitely have been making some good ones.
Were you so you get a chance to play Overwatch there?
Yeah.
And
good
then
stuff.
you play a lot of Overwatch not on camera? You enjoy it?
A lot of Overwatch off stream. I'm not too bad at it. I got some characters I'm decent with.
What's your favorite character? Oh, nice kill. Do you have a favorite character?
Junkrat's probably my favorite character. I like him a lot. He's got a lot of explosives.
Do you ever play League of Legends with your mom?
Yeah, sometimes. She really likes me too. I just don't have that much time lately. I'm definitely gonna get more than 10 kills. Let's go.
All right, so with 3 minutes left, Cobalt has 6 kills so far in the first level.
Teams are
So you said you played, what was the first FPS you played? I know you mentioned you played CS 1.5. Did you play any FPSs before that?
Probably Counter-Strike.
Okay.
Yeah, I played a lot of Counter-Strike. I didn't really play much Halo or anything like that, though.
How did you, how was there a computer in your home? Like, did you want one? Was it introduced to you? Did someone in your sister have it? Or how did
For what
you,
now? Counter-Strike?
No, how did you have a computer in your home at, like,
A computer?
Yeah.
I just really wanted a computer when I was in 6th grade. And I got straight A's from my report card. My parents promised me that if I got straight A's, they would buy me one. And so it was something that I really wanted and asked for, just because like I really like computers at school, and like they had reading programs in school, and it was just something that always interested me.
What
Out of ammo.
do you remember, like, playing, like, Oregon Trail at school or something? Or what made you like computers?
It was one of my friends, my older friends, that babysat me, and he really wanted me to, or we played the original Diablo and Warcraft 2, and then Warcraft 3 came out, or StarCraft came out, and then I just got hooked on games after that, like the original Warcraft and Diablo.
And so you
Probably
played
what got
that
me really hooked on it.
at your babysitter's house?
Yeah, my babysitter's house. They live down the block from me.
Oh, cool. All right, real quick score update with 1:30 left on the clock. Cobalt has 11 kills. I think the record for this map is 17. Don't quote me on that, though. I'll have to double check.
Damn, mowing me down.
Cobalt's got 12 kills with 1:15 left. So we haven't talked much about your sister. You have an older sister, right?
Yeah, she's got a medical degree.
Uh-huh.
1 minute.
To do sonograph. I'm terrible at this rocket launcher. It's really hard to aim with.
What does she think of, does she ever tune in your stream at all?
Yeah, she's always asking me to help her raise money and stuff and buy her things now.
What?
like I'm not gonna buy you stuff. Oh, come on.
Real quick, Cobalt's got 15 kills with 28 seconds left. I'm sorry, the record on this map's 27. Sorry. Cobalt has no
That's
teammates.
armor, though.
Nice kill. 10 seconds left, 9 seconds. Is Cobalt gonna get one before it? One more on him. 2 seconds.
Oh, I tied it.
Alright, so Cobalt in the first round got 17 kills. So, what are your thoughts on your first round performance?
That was pretty badass. I haven't played this game ever, so not bad.
Alright, cool. Alright, so we're going to go into, so this next level we play, actually let me back out of this real quick. So this next level we play, there's a lot more corridors, so that typically there are less kills on this particular map. Alright, so give me 1 sec here to load in. Any concerns about a smaller map for you? You think it's going to help you or hurt you on this one?
I don't know. I can die faster, but I should be able to also find people faster too. So I don't know. That one was pretty small too. That was it's pretty hectic. I think definitely focusing on the power-ups is the way to go.
Yeah,
Like,
there's one time I connected direct hit with you on a rocket launcher, and it did 100 damage, but you were still running around. All right, you can join in now.
The mega overhealth. It's really strong.
All right. Okay, cool.
I like the lightning gun and the Gatling gun the best. I'm not really good with the rocket launcher or the rail gun at all.
So I'm going to add Angel in, then I'm going to add Orb in, and then we're going to get this second round started. Any predictions from chat on how many Cobalt's going to get in this second round? All right, so we got 5-minute limits. We're going to go. Oh, good. We're good to go.
Yeah, Quake maps are pretty small, it seems like.
All right, let me go.
Prepare your team.
All right, cool.
I
So
may
it's
have
going to.
played this really like when I was young. Yeah, it didn't even look this nice, honestly.
All right, so it's going to pause right away, and then we're going to unbalance.
Fight.
Cool. So I'm going to go move Angel back to red, so Cobalt will be on the blue team. Move Angel back to red. Here we go, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
There was a 14, a 69, 18. A lot of 69 predictions for you, and 69 kills on this map.
69, huh?
Oh, nice shot. Railgun.
Need a different gun.
So you said you played Age of Empires as a kid?
Yeah, a lot of RTS games growing up.
Did you ever stream any? Can't think I've ever seen you stream an RTS, or maybe not.
No, people are really, really crazy about RTS games and your CPM and stuff like that. So I try not to upset them.
Oh god, I forgot to put the camera on. Have you ever streamed?
Yeah.
Have you ever
streamed
streamed?
what?
Have you ever streamed an RTS ever?
I've streamed StarCraft before, but only the campaign.
Uh huh.
And it was alright, it was fun. I liked it. I played through the new campaign on my own.
Would you Legacy of the Void?
Yeah, Legacy of the Void, I really like that. Oh, I can't find anybody.
All right, real quick update. Cobalt, do you have any kills? This is tougher to find. Where you at? There's Angel, there's Orb, there's Cobalt.
Quit running, little... Oh, God, these bots are kicking my ass right now.
Were you ever a console guy? Or have you always been a PC guy?
Not too... Well, yeah, I played Super Nintendo, and I really like Nintendo 64. I'm like an older console guy. Not so much a newer console guy.
Are there any games that are on the near horizon? I know we talked about Gungeon a little bit, that you're super excited about.
Enter the Gungeon, Kingdom Hearts, the new Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy.
Will you stream Final Fantasy even though it's a RPG?
I probably will, yeah. It's new enough, and I'm just going to enjoy it. Some games I just don't even care how well they'll do, and I just want to play them to play them. And the best time to do that is, like, during stream and whatnot. There we go.
I didn't know you're a big Kingdom Hearts guy.
Yeah, I like Kingdom Hearts a lot. I don't like the Disney characters and acting as much, but I really like the combat system. It's really fun for me. I don't know. They have really interesting just battles with stuff, like the different bosses and whatnot.
Oh, I hit you with 3 rockets. God. What do you have?
and
Super
got the
health?
armor.
All right, real quick, with 220 left, Cobalt has 4 kills, which is typical for this type of map. Usually people 50%.
Damn. I don't know where any of the power-ups are either.
Yeah, we try to make it as fair as possible for all the guests, but I guess, you know, I've been playing the same maps for 10 straight weeks, so...
Jeez, you got that quad damage. Also, my game sounds super loud. It's like drowning you out sometimes, that's why it's harder to hear you.
Oh, no worries. Did you play, do you have a favorite Final Fantasy that you played?
Favorite Final Fantasy, probably 4.
Really?
Yeah, I like 4. I also like 11, I think it is, with Vaughn and all those guys. It wasn't even that much of a popular one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, most people, like, you don't necessarily hear 11 that often. Why did you say 4? What did you like about 4? Nice kill.
I don't know, it's just the storyline, and it's really challenging. I just really like the storyline a lot. 7's pretty good. I also like 8. I've never finished 9. 10's really awesome too. I like 10 a lot. I played through 10 on stream.
You did?
1 minute.
The remastered one? Or the original?
I beat the entire 10 on stream. What was that? Last question?
Was it the remastered one?
Let me turn the sound down a little bit. I'll do it between rounds, I guess.
Yeah, we got 40 seconds left.
Yeah.
So Cobalt's got
kills.
7 kills with 40 seconds left.
I don't even know where I'm getting hit from. Oh, hello.
Giving him a few cigars. Oh!
Oh, right to the face with the quad damage. Dang.
Alright, 15 seconds left. Cobalt has 7 kills.
That quad damage is sick nasty.
Orb picked that up, the little dog. Everyone calls him a little dog.
He keeps doing that too. He's got it like 8 times.
Alright, Cobalt
Jesus.
racked up 7 kills in that round.
Terrible that time.
2.1, 2100 damage. That's pretty good, man. What are your final thoughts on Quake Live?
That was a lot harder. That second map. It's just it's less open. You can definitely be more mobile. It's a lot of fun though. Pretty fun. I never played that. I bet it'll be a lot of fun with more people.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so quick score roundup for Cobalt. He scored 17 kills in the first round, 7 in the second, giving him a total of 24 kills, which is pretty darn good. So he has 600 total points in the first round. All right, our second game we're going to load into right now is Brawlhalla. For people that are unfamiliar with Brawlhalla, it's essentially like a flattened version of Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Cobalt, what's your experience in Brawlhalla?
I played it a little bit on the NLSS, like once or twice, but
Okay.
not too much experience, and I suck really bad at Super Smash Brothers, so...
Okay.
Interesting.
In terms of how this one works, we're going to play 4 3-minute matches,
Okay.
and each match is a different game mode. Oh, this is new. They updated it. So I'm going to go ahead and host a private game. Do you know how to join in?
I should just be able to join off of you, right?
I think you have to do it actually in-game.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. But all right, so the way that the scoring works in this one is we're gonna play 4 3-minute matches, and it's just gonna be you versus me. Each match you win is 250 points.
Okay.
So it's a lot of cake on the line. A lot of cake. All right, so in the upper right-hand corner, are you in the game?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you've seen the upper right-hand corner. There's like 3 people. It's like an icon of like friends.
Got it.
Cool. All right. So I'm gonna be this guy. So if you guys aren't familiar with this is a free-to-play game. The one thing I always say I like about it is it's the paywall is not like pay to win. The paywall is just cosmetic stuff. Okay, cool. I'll be
My girlfriend won a tournament of this game
Really?
for Casper's charity marathon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. She had all the Brawlhalla people watching and everything.
That's awesome.
She also got a signed poster of the whole Brawlhalla team.
Really? That's cool.
Yeah.
Did I saw at PAX South they have like a $40,000 esports or tournament going on.
Oh wow, it's nice.
All right, cool. So this first match is 3 minutes. It's just like Smash. So you got to knock me off, and I gotta knock you off. Are you nervous at all? There are a lot of points on the line here.
A little bit. I don't like to lose.
So you know the controls, or you need a second to? Are you good? So yeah, there
I'll
you go.
figure it out.
All right. So Cobalt is the gray guy. I'm the yellow guy. And just so you know, right button, not trigger, throws your weapon. That's
Okay. Ah! Come here, little dwarf man.
So you said you're not a big Smash guy?
I haven't played too much Smash. I'm just really bad at it. Like, it's fun.
Do you have a character? Who's your go-to character in Smash?
Kirby.
That's a wise choice. I feel like that's like the best character for people that like want to do well but don't want to learn all the stuff.
Yeah. Gentle.
Are you a big Nintendo guy? Like I'm trying to think if I've seen you streamed a little Mario Kart, right? At one point.
Yeah, I like Pokemon. I like Zelda.
I saw you tweet a little bit ago that you got your 3DS.
Yeah, it took 6 months or 4 months to get to me too. I special ordered it from Japan.
Why? Why did it take?
Because they have to custom build a capture card into it.
A real quick score update. There's 1:35 on the clock. It's 0-0 right now. Oh no!
Dunk!
Oh!
Yes.
All right, so Cobalt's up 2 to -1. All right, here we
I
go.
just gotta hold out.
This is where the competitive Cobalt comes out.
No!
No!
The beast! No!
All right, it's tied up 1-1 with 1:10 on the clock.
Smack daddy.
Get out of here. No!
Oh. Okay, that didn't do what I thought it was to do.
Nice.
Nice throw.
Hey, the other thing I want to talk to you about was, so for people that don't know, you and Dick played, when Rebirth came out, you played it for, was it a week straight, rotating?
Yeah.
Where
like
did that
6.
idea come from?
We just wanted to be the first people to unlock everything and to lock everything down, so I figured that'd be the best idea for us to do is just kind of like give everybody a reason never to leave our channels, because we'd always be online for a week.
And how long did it take you to finish?
I don't know, we played the whole time. Come on.
No! So 10 seconds left, it's tied 1-1. No! I think it's gonna go to sudden death here.
2, 1.
Yeah, this is like Smash. Oh, alright.
Right. Woo!
So our health's pretty close. 2 minutes on the clock. Next kill or score wins. Oh,
No, I thought I hit you. Oh my goodness.
nice try, man. Nice try. Alright, so that's the first match. The next game we're gonna play is it's called Brawl Ball. Have you ever played this one?
No.
Okay, so the way this works is there's a football in the middle, and you have to pick it up and run it into my end zone. But you can't be holding a weapon when you do it, and you have to jump over my wall, but you can run through your own wall. You'll see what it means in a second. All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna be the red guy. Cobalt's gonna be the blue tiger. All right, so
Rawr.
here we go. All right, so see how you have the blue wall?
Okay.
So you can run through your wall, but you have to go up and over my wall. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so you can only pick up the ball. There you go.
Have to get it in.
You have to just
here.
run it in, yeah.
Oh, I see. Have to dunk it or what?
No, you just have to run it in. You don't have to throw it in.
Oh, okay.
But you can run through your own wall. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Come on. And you don't lose any points for dying or anything on this one. All right, so
Okay. I thought I did run it in the first time. I guess not.
all right, so
I guess I have to be on the ground.
2:15 on the clock. Each score is worth 1 point, so it's just 1-0 right now. No. No.
Yes.
All right, so 1-1 with 2 minutes on the clock. In case you guys don't know, I'm the red guy and Cobalt is the blue tiger. No! No! No!
The takeaway.
No! Give me weapon. Oh! No!
Yes.
All right, 1:30 on the clock. Cobalt's up 2-1.
Oh. This is fun.
This is a good game. They've done a nice job. I'm going different strat here. Stay on. No, don't fall off. Oh.
Whoa. Okay.
So you don't lose any points for dying, luckily for me. Go. Get in there. All right.
No. Damn it.
2-2 with 1 minute left on the clock.
This is intense.
Cobalt's got the ball. 250 points on the line. Oh. No!
Yes!
Goal!
All right. 40 seconds on the clock. Cobalt's up 3-2. Oh, no. All right, come on. Get up there.
What?
No.
Drop
No. Get in there. No. All right.
Oh, wow.
20 seconds left. 3-3. Come on, come on, come on. No! Come on! Oh!
Goal!
Right in there.
3 seconds left. It's 4-3. Shh.
No way.
Nice one. All right. Cobalt squeaked that one out. All right. So 250 points for Cobalt on that one. Congratulations. Next game we're gonna play. It's called Bomb Skitball. So it's a similar concept. Not really. There's bombs on the map, and you have to try and hit my target with a bomb. That's it.
Okay.
There's no penalty for like dying or anything.
Gotcha.
All right. So I'm gonna be the
Ember.
red ember. You're gonna be the same guy, huh? Keep a good thing going.
Right. I
Excellent.
like him. I like his weapons. Look at style.
All right, cool. So Cobalt's he's 1 for 2 in this one. All right, good luck, man. God, you snuck that last one in. Cobalt scored 250 points. Your total is now up to 850 overall. All right, here we go.
3, 2, 1, brawl.
So you have to chuck these things. It's a lot harder than
Nailed it.
I would say it's a lot harder than it looks when you drill your first shot. So there's no penalty for deaths on this one.
Okay.
How did you? No one hits their. It takes like.
Got it.
Okay.
Nailed
I
it.
say no one hits their first shots. Give me the bounce. Ah. Real quick score updates: 2-1 Cobalt, 2:30 on the clock. Oh, money ball.
Crap. Get that spawn.
All right. Oh, come on.
Close.
Give me the bounce bomb. Give me that. Hang in there.
My
hang in there.
bomb.
Oh, that's money. Give me bounce. Nope. Oh, nice kill. Or nice shot. Cobalt's up 3-1, 2 minutes on the clock. Oh, this should be opportunity. Opportunity. Oh, whiff. Hang in there.
Oh, right in the face.
Give me the bounce.
You want those bounces so bad.
All right.
Damn.
3-2 Cobalt's up. Let's go.
No, it's good.
All right.
Monopolizing the bomb pickups.
140 on the clock. We got a tie ball game. Oh, the reverse.
Ow. Double wreck. Come on.
That's real. Man, this is the hardest game mode. No. Oh, nice shot. 4-3, minute 25 on the clock. This is big for. This is a big one. Cobalt's got to have this one. If he wants the shot, get it. Bounce. Oh,
Come on. Come
hang
on.
in there.
Oh, in midair, I caught yours.
Give me a bounce. Oh. 4-3, minute on the clock here.
Boom.
Oh, nice shot. 5-3, 50 on the
Sweet
clock.
spot up there.
Oh, you just took that from me like a little
Throw it
baby,
off here.
like a little.
Woo!
All right.
I'll deflect them all day.
5-3, 45 seconds on the clock. Cobalt's going into defensive strat mode. Are you scumming the bombs? Are you just? Give me a long bomb. Long bomb. Let's go.
What?
5-4, 30 seconds on the clock. Give me that fresh toss. Oh, I didn't know you could catch him midair.
Oh yeah, you can.
Go. Let's go. 5-5.
The tied game.
15 on the clock.
Ugh, try to get real up close to it.
No. No.
5,
5 seconds.
4, 3,
No.
2,
Yes!
1.
Chuck it. The dream. Give me a bounce. No. Those are two you scummed at the last second.
Blue team wins.
Oh, nicely done. Nicely done. All right. Cobalt's
Oh.
on a winning streak here. All right, the last game mode is called Snow Brawl.
Okay.
And the way this works is it goes back to the first round rules. So you got to try and knock me off, but there's no weapons. You just have a reoccurring snowball that you can keep chucking, and each one you land, you get a point.
Oh man.
So this one, like normally the scores end up in the 30s for this one.
Okay.
So it's like, I always say it favors the unskilled, which is me because I just spam the attack. So, you understand the rules?
Sounds good to me.
All right. I'm seeing some. Is this premature Vader victories in chat? Wow, I like it. All right.
3.
All right, well, good luck. A little snow brawl action. Cobalt's won 2 out of 3 rounds. Okay. Cobalt's the tiger.
Holy moly.
All right, real quick score updates. 3-2, I'm up. 2:45 on the clock. Now it's even.
Oh.
Roast him.
Wow, the straight up strike there.
I like the music in this game.
That's fun. I didn't know there were so many different modes for this.
All right, 9-4, 2:25 on the clock. Nice shot. Get up. Get up. No.
Yes.
All right, 9-8, 2:20 on the clock here. Oh, the up down strat.
Trying to cheese it.
No. No.
Stay down. Oh, yeah.
Cobalt's up 14-10, 2 minutes on the clock.
Oh, God. You came back quick.
Oh. What got your dad into Don't Starve?
I don't know. He just saw me playing and he liked it. My mom was playing it.
That's cool. Does your sister play games at all?
No, she played Counter-Strike when we were young, but doesn't really play anything now.
Quick score update. Cobalt's up 22-12 with 1:30 on the clock. No, 24-12 now. All right, come on. Spam strat.
That's what I'm doing.
It's working.
Not bad. Oh, the double KO.
29-16, minute 20 on the clock. Cobalt's up. Keep spamming.
As long as I just trade with you, I should be okay at this point.
I like this. You got the high level meta strat going on right now. 32-19, minute on the clock. Get up there. Oh. 37-19, minute on the clock here. We gotta do some low court drop in here.
Woof.
38-23-50 on the clock. Oh, you thunder womped me. Get him. You did.
No.
Come on, one more now. All right, let's go. Let's go. 39-30, 35 on the clock.
That was really good.
The spam. 39-33, 28 on the clock.
Oh, God.
Finish him.
What now? Wow.
39-38. Cobalt still got the lead, 19 seconds. Get him. No. Come on. 40-38. 8 seconds. Spam strat him.
4, 3,
No.
2,
Dodge strat.
No. Oh.
It's so close.
I want just nick.
wins.
I didn't nick you. Oh, nice job, man. Pulled out 3 out of 4 on Brawlhalla. Dude, my heart is racing. Dude, nicely done.
You almost came back so hard there, dude, at the end.
All right, nicely done. Real quick scoreboard update as we pull into our last game here. Cobalt racked up 600 in Quake Live and 750 in Brawlhalla, putting him at a total of 1350 with the highest scoring game left to go. Now, Cobalt doesn't know. He has an idea what it is, but he's never been on this side of it. So the last game is a game we like to play called Your Life According to Others. And the way this one works is I sat down with a friend of Cobalt's and asked him 8 questions about Cobalt. And now it's Cobalt's job to go ahead and answer those questions correctly. If he answers them correctly, each question is worth 500 points. That's a lot of points, Cobalt. Are
This
you
is the
ready?
hardest game
Are you
because I
ready?
remember I answered questions for someone else and my answers were terrible.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Well, there's a little thing in life called payback because the person I sat down with is none other than Mr. Richard Hammer himself.
Mm-hmm.
So are you nervous heading into this?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
'Cause
Okay.
I messed his answers up real good.
Why do you say you messed his answers up?
Because there's no way he was going to guess any of that. The questions you answered were so hard, asked for so hard.
All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to jump right into this so you understand how the game works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's just like, for those people that don't know, it's like the Newlywed Game. So Richard Hammer said something about Cobalt. Cobalt has to answer it correctly. All right, here we go. We're going to go with the first one. We'll go with, all right, we asked Richard Hammer this question. When CobaltStreak is 80 years old, what do you think he's going to be doing?
Still streaming on Twitch, probably.
Still streaming on Twitch. Is that your final answer?
I'm going to go with that, yeah.
Okay. So Cobalt says he thought Richard Hammer said when he is 80 years old, he thinks that Cobalt is still going to be streaming on Twitch. Here is what Richard Hammer said.
When CobaltStreak is 80 years old, I think he will still be playing video games and streaming because it's what he loves.
All right. Nicely
Got
done.
him.
Coming out swinging. Coming out swinging. All right. So that's 500 points for you. 1 for 1 in your life according to others. I will say this, Cobalt. You have a shot to become the overall points leader. You got to do pretty well here, but it's on the table. The
Yeah.
championship belt's on the line. All right, here we go. Next question. We asked Richard Hammer if Cobalt could only play one game the rest of his life, what one game would that be?
Oh, God. I think he said Isaac. He had to have said Isaac. I don't
Isaac,
know what other game he would have picked for me. Has to be Isaac.
Isaac, final answer?
I'm gonna go final answer if we're going to video games.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we asked Richard Hammer what one game he thought CobaltStreak would play the rest of his life, if that's the only game he could play, he said this.
CobaltStreak could play one video game. I would still go with Isaac.
Yes.
I know he loves streaming it and the community it brings.
Yes.
All right.
My boy
Cobalt
Richard.
Cobalt batting 2 for 2, which brings him to 2,350 points. And as of right now, that puts him in 4th place. But he still has 6 questions to go. So you run the table here. I don't know if I'm not that good at math, but I don't know if you have to run the table. But you got a shot. You got a shot. All right, here we go. Next question. When we asked Richard Hammer to compare Cobalt to a celebrity look-alike, what celebrity do you think he compared you to?
Jack Black.
You say that with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it's either Jack Black or Chris Pratt. I'm gonna go with the popular answer.
Which is?
Jack Black.
Final answer, Jack Black.
Final answer. Yeah.
All right, when we asked Richard Hammer to compare CobaltStreak to a celebrity look-alike, here's what Richard Hammer said.
If I had to compare CobaltStreak to a celebrity look-alike, it would be Jack Black.
Cobalt.
Yes.
With that question, you're at 2,850 points. You just moved into 3rd place.
Oh, baby.
2nd place is Family Jewels with 3,175. So if you get this next question right, you move into 2nd place. No pressure. Season finale. Season finale. All right, here we go. Next question. Let's go with this one. So, if Richard Hammer gave you $10,000 and you have to spend it on yourself, you can't give it away, you can't donate it, you can't buy stuff for anyone else. You have to spend it only on yourself. What do you think Richard Hammer said you would spend it on?
Oh no. I don't know. I know what he would really say, but I don't know if he's gonna say that on stream.
This is what you would spend the money on.
Yeah, I know. I hope he didn't say what I'm thinking. Okay. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about this one. I'm gonna go with. What would I spend it on?
If Richard Hammer gave you $10,000 to spend only on yourself, can't give it away, you can't buy stuff for anyone else. You have to spend it solely on yourself.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with I would spend it on video games, honestly.
Okay.
I'll go with video games.
Video games, final answer.
And he could have gone with something real dirty though. I don't know. Please, Richard.
Is that your final answer?
This is my final answer.
Okay. When I asked Richard Hammer what Cobalt would spend $10,000 on, here's what he said.
If I could give CobaltStreak $10,000, he would buy trinkets and baubles.
Trinkets and baubles.
I didn't even know, what are baubles? What does that mean?
It's like a trinket. It's that's a tough one.
Okay. Dude,
The real answer we couldn't say on stream.
What would you spend it on trinkets and baubles? Do you think is that somewhere in your top 5?
I buy a lot of useless crap. He's probably talking about all the collectibles I get, like the pop figures and loot crate boxes, and I bought like a Thundercat sword. I like buy a bunch of crap, magic cards,
Okay, all right.
No.
Next question is, we asked Richard Hammer to describe you in one word. What one word do you think he said?
Oh man.
I'm laughing at chat. He actually, so just to clear the air, he did say hookers and blow, but he's like, I can't say that. So
yeah,
he did say that like off camera.
Mm-hmm.
But.
I almost went with hookers and blow. I almost went with it.
So don't feel, I mean, he didn't go with that one, so don't feel bad for not saying that one.
One more time. What was the question? One more time.
Yeah, so the question is, we asked Richard Hammer to describe CobaltStreak in one word. What one word do you think he used?
Goofy?
Goofy?
I'm gonna go with goofy. Final answer.
Final answer. Is that a word that Richard Hammer throws around at you?
Not really.
No?
I have no clue what.
Okay.
I have no idea.
All right. When we asked Richard Hammer to describe CobaltStreak in one word, here's what he said.
If I could describe CobaltStreak in one word, ADD.
That's true too, though.
All right.
I have ADHD, actually.
All right. We're going to go with next question. What is what we asked Richard Hammer. What is the nicest thing CobaltStreak has ever done for you? So what do you think Richard Hammer said the nicest thing you've ever done for him is? Chat saying ADD is not even a word.
The nicest thing I've ever done for him. I paid for his hotel room when we went out somewhere. I bought dinner for him. I also did a tournament with him. I don't know if that counts. Can I do a general? I'm gonna go with partnered up with him, like a Twitch business partner.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay. So when we asked Richard Hammer what's the nicest thing Cobalt's ever done for him, here is what he said.
The nicest thing CobaltStreak has ever done for me, I would have to go with working with me.
Yes.
Hosting the Balls of Steel.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
With that, Cobalt is at 3,350 points, which puts him in second place, surpassing Family Jewels 7X. So Cobalt moves into the second place spot with 2 questions left. Here we go. Next question. What is the funniest... Sorry, I want to get the wording correct. What is the funniest story... I asked Richard Hammer, what is the funniest story you know about CobaltStreak? What do you think, Richard Hammer?
I don't know. That I poop like a gargoyle sometimes. That I used to poop like a gargoyle.
What does that mean?
So it's like when you Spider-Man the toilet. It's like when you put your feet on the edge of the toilet and hover your butt over it to use the restroom rather than sitting directly on it.
Okay. So we asked Richard Hammer the funniest story that he knows about you.
I'm gonna have to go with that.
Okay. All right. When We call it either Spider-Manning or gargoyling toilet.
Yeah, because I don't know what else he could have said. Because he thought that was funny. I know.
All right. When we asked Richard Hammer what's a funny story he knows about CobaltStreak, here's what he said.
Funniest story about CobaltStreak: watching him play laser tag.
Oh my
As a
God!
30-year-old
It was
man
after.
doing these crazy orangutan-like moves, shooting 12-year-olds and 10-year-olds with his laser so he could get first place, and then
Oh, this was
bragging
recent.
in front of all these children about how he whooped their butt at laser
Oh
tag.
yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
It all comes full circle. Did you?
That just happened.
So were you like pushing kids to the side and like going for the gold or what?
I mean, no, I just follow. I follow everybody around that shoots me and shoot them 4 times. Back. I'm a beast at laser tag.
Did you look at the assistant manager and did you have any sympathy for the assistant manager? Did not even cross your mind?
She liked her job. I talked with her briefly about it. I was like, I used to do this.
Look at you. Look at you.
Yeah.
You went up and talked to a complete stranger.
Oh yeah, I'm real good about it now. I'm fine with it now.
All right. Last question for Cobalt. We asked Richard Hammer if he could give you one superpower. What superpower do you think Richard Hammer would give you?
I think he would give me flight. I
Flight.
don't know why.
Okay.
I think he would give me flight or X-ray vision, but I'm gonna go with flight.
Flight, final answer. All right, when we asked Richard Hammer what superpower he would give CobaltStreak, here's what he said. And let's keep in mind that last week CobaltStreak said he would give Richard Hammer wind breath. But here we go.
Super
If
wind.
I could give CobaltStreak one superpower, it would be flight.
Yes!
So he can stop complaining about traveling.
Yes! I can't believe I nailed that one.
All right. So with the final question getting right, that gets you to 3,850 points, cementing your spot in second place
Dang.
overall.
So
Look, Cobalt, that's pretty damn good.
close. It's all right. I like to win though.
I can understand that. Cobalt, what's your thoughts on your overall performance in the Shooting Stars Ultimate Challenge?
I think I did all right. I think I could have done a little better at Quake. I could have. Those Brawlhalla games were real close. I think that was about as good as I could have done there. And I probably the question about the funniest story, I feel like he let me down because we just went and played laser tag with each other. So I'm gonna put that on him.
Okay.
But
What about the
everybody's good.
$10,000? Was that a...
The $10,000 was rough. Trinkets and baubles, like hookers and blow, I probably would have gone for that.
Yeah.
That just as a joke. I wouldn't actually
No.
I wouldn't actually spend my money on that, but that's what I always say, you know. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could have done much better there. Some of those questions are really hard. You could they're so general. You could just go a million different ways with them.
Yeah. That's why
I really screwed him on his, honestly.
when you said super wind breath, I think you knocked any chances of him doing well.
Smoke as many cigarettes as he wanted in one pull. He could just take it out.
All right, so as we wrap things up here, CobaltStreak, there's a little promotional slide up here for you. You can find CobaltStreak at twitch.tv/CobaltStreak, at youtube.com/CobaltStreak, and twitter.com/CobaltStreak. Right now, Cobalt, can you tell people, what your schedule is and what people can expect when they're watching you?
Yeah, sure. I stream every day from 5 to 11 p.m. Central. I try to do a lot of variety. We do a lot of indie games, new indie games that come out. So we're going to be doing Enter the Gungeon. We've been doing Binding of Isaac, Stardew Valley. I'm going to be jumping on that Dark Souls 3. I've beaten over 150 games on stream in the 4 years that I've been playing on Twitch. And I love doing what I do. I'm super consistent. The only time I ever miss, I'll tweet about it, or it's usually just for traveling. I don't really take off days even when I'm sick. So, I'm super high energy. I'm very chat interactive. I love talking to my chat. It's my favorite thing to do. It's what keeps me coming back every day, is meeting new people in my chat and just knowing that I bring some satisfaction to people and make their day a little bit better. That's what makes it worth it for me. And, anybody is welcome to stop by and hang out anytime.
You mentioned you've beaten over 150 games on your stream. Is there one that sticks out as like the most insanely difficult among the others?
I Want to Be the Boshi was extremely hard. I try not Bashi. Excuse me. I want to be the guy.
Yeah.
And then I tried to play I want to be the Bashi, and I made it to the screen before Sonic, and it was the only game that's ever physically defeated me. I was like, I cannot force myself to go on. Like I can do a Dark Souls boss for 5 hours straight and wipe because I've been trained on World of Warcraft to do that. Like there's been bosses where we've died for 8 hours straight on World of Warcraft, no problem. But I want to be the Bashi broke my soul. But I say I want to be the guy is probably one of the hardest games before that that I played.
That's a feat in itself to beat that. Well, CobaltStreak, want to thank you so much for spending so much time. I know that you just did you had your birthday marathon. You're coming off the NLSS, and then you took time to come on the finale of Shooting Stars Live. Man, thank you so much for coming on. It was a great interview. I appreciate you sharing your story with everyone. It was
absolutely.
It was
my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
No, dude, the pleasure was all mine. And I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. This show and the entire season, all 10 episodes. It's been a great run. Really looking forward to learning from this, and we've had some great guests on, and I think it's only appropriate that we brought on Cobalt as the finale. But I want to give a special thank you out there to Kevin92, who does a lot of work on the back end, all the audio, all the graphics. He's been doing it all season long, so big thank you to him. And make sure you guys check out, for those of you guys who don't know, make sure to check out CobaltStreak's links in the chat below. Make sure you follow him on Twitter and on Twitch and on YouTube. But CobaltStreak, thanks so much for closing out Season 1. It was a pleasure to have you on, and we wish you nothing but continued success, and I look forward to continue to watch you, man. You're my first channel I ever subscribed to, and it's been fun getting to know you over the past couple of years.
Yeah, man, you started as one of my idols, and now we're pretty good friends. So it's awesome. I don't know. You're one of the coolest dudes I know, and I can't wait to hang out with you more. Thanks for inviting me again. And if you ever need anything, just let me know. Oh, by the way, who is in first right now? Then
so the guy that won first, he's a professional Halo player.
Okay.
So you're right there.
I probably don't know him.
His name's Snipedowns, but
so
anyway,
he killed it on Quake basically.
He did really well there. About the competitive Cobalt coming out. Big shout out to Mom Bolt too, by the way. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Cobalt, thanks so much for taking time out to come on the show, man. I'll see you at PAX East.
We'll be there.
Later, guys.
Later.
Rip ears.